Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Wednesday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark. Bob, we've navigated our way right here to the midweek, man. A little Coaster Bob Day, first Friday for some, Coaster Bob Day for others. What's going on, man? Good to talk to you.
Oh, it's great to talk to you, Beam. Excited to be in here. Coaster Bob, Wednesday. It's my kids' last full day of school. They got a half day tomorrow, so they're excited. We'll see if some of those storms come and hit today. It's supposed to be scattered showers, I guess. So they're disappointed about that. The fact it's supposed to rain kind of through that first weekend it's kind of a bummer, man. A little bit of a negative, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll take what we can get. But you know, excited. How was your Tuesday, sir?
Yeah, not really bad, man. Can't complain. So it's been pretty calm the last couple of days, I guess, except for we're in that weird part of the, I guess, growing up phase with William that we're kind of in the middle of like, do we still give him a morning nap?
Yeah,
Are we just going to cut it down to one nap?
Oh, he's not even 2.
Well, yeah, he's 14 months.
Yeah, dude. You give him that morning nap until he won't take it anymore.
So yesterday was the first day where he refused that.
That's fine.
So he
That's
totally
why you give him the cage and the blanket.
like a bird.
A bird. Dude, it's dark. You're going to sleep.
So yesterday was the first day where he did that. So usually, like when I get home, we got our babysitter who's there. She does a great job. And usually he's still asleep until like 10. So if I get home at like 9:45, I got 15 minutes, whether I need to like fold laundry or, you know, empty out the dishwasher or whatever. I got 15 minutes to kind of make sure that happens. And it's like clockwork. He's up like usually at 10. So I walked in the door yesterday around like 9:45, same time I usually do. And he was up and he was like eating a snack. And I'm like, okay, you know, I mean, just didn't take a nap early or, you know, woke up early. Like what was happening? Our babysitter's like, nope, he just didn't. He just refused. He refused the nap. I'm like, all right, well, we'll see what this means. So get through the morning, and he was super pleasant. Like it's not like he was tired or anything. And then we get to nap time a little bit earlier in the afternoon nap than what was the usual. Get to that, it's fine. He sleeps for about an hour and a half. I'm like, this is not long enough with you not having a morning nap. I'm like, I know exactly what this is going to be. Yep. So when Mary gets home in the afternoon, usually around like 3:30, 4 o'clock, he's up and he runs to the door and he gets all excited. And yesterday she walks in the door. She's like peeking around the corner. She's like, where is he? I'm like, he is down for another nap because he was kind of being a jerk. And I'm like, he was crying. He was crabby. I'm like, you know what? We're just going to set you down for another half-hour reset here in the middle of the afternoon. And he did that. He was fine. Then he was good throughout the rest of the night. But that late afternoon kind of crabbiness kind of caught up to him a little
when
bit.
When she said he wouldn't take his nap, what does that mean?
Yeah, he was just in his crib, shake, rattle, and rolling.
That's fine.
Yeah,
he can spend his hour and a half in there doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's quiet time for us.
You put the lid on the top. You put the bird cage over, and if you want to sit there and scream or do whatever, you're going to learn. You will go to sleep, or I'll put you to sleep. See the name tag? You're in my world now, Grandma.
You're in my world now, Grandma. You're pulled landscaping duty.
You cannot relinquish those. The morning nap is more important than the afternoon nap. We kicked that one, I think, first, but it's, dude, he's only 14 months.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he needs.
He doesn't. And so I try to tell him, but he doesn't listen to me. So that's what we had going on yesterday. What about you, man? How was your Tuesday?
It was pretty good. You know, the kids' sports stuff's kind of winding down. They started swimming a little bit this week, so getting some of the kids over to swim practice. They moved Caleb's soccer from Sunny 95 to Antrim Park, so it's a little bit further of a jaunt. Had to go up there. Went out east after the show. Went out to Cambridge, get some stuff done out there. And, man, it was coming back. Had a lot of phone calls. Got to catch up with some friends, though. Learned some good stuff. Our guy, Jake Ballard, he's having a kid. They moved out to Dresden, so he was excited about that.
Is that where they're at right now?
Yeah, talked to him about that. So he sold his house. Like, where'd you move to? He's like, Dresden. I was like, really? Okay. I thought it would be somewhere still closer, but his wife worked out there, and so it's a good situation for him. But yeah, just excited to kind of
super pumped about that.
Yeah, catch up on some of the stuff, and I had about 4 or 5 phone calls, some friends that I hadn't talked to in a while. So that was good. A little bit of business. Got back, got some workouts in. Got a workout in. Then I trained my daughter a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I mean, she can be very hot and cold, but started out very, very cold, and then we warmed up throughout. So it was ended up being a productive productive evening, even though it didn't necessarily look like that to begin with.
Well, good, man. Glad you had a good day. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. Talk about the Big Ten and the SEC and the dollars coming into the conference. Some of that came out yesterday. Found that to be pretty interesting. So we'll do that coming up here in our next segment. One current college player is suing his former team. It's going to get real nasty real fast.
This is awesome.
This is kind of the first of its kind. So we'll do that a little bit later in the 6 o'clock hour as well. Now that we have a lawyer friend, he's going to join us in studio. Former Buckeye All-American Michael Bennett. He's back in Columbus. He's going to hang out with us in the studio coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. We can talk to him about all these lawsuits as well. I know he's big kind of into the NIL world, and that fascinates him. So Michael Bennett's going to hang out with us in studio in the 7 o'clock hour. And then Berm, he's going to round out the program with us coming up here at 8:35. Before we get into anything else today, it is Wednesday, the 22nd day of May, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bob, big Wednesday, buddy. What do you got lined up for us here this morning?
Oh, it is a nice little Wednesday for you, Beam. It is Wednesday, May 22nd. It is the 143rd day of the year, 263 days remaining in this 2024 Beam. We're getting close to getting the 50s there. We get to the 250s, all of a sudden that thing flips on you in quite a hurry. This day in 1804, Lewis and Clark officially begin their journey west as they depart from St. Charles, Missouri, right up the Missouri River. St. Charles, located kind of out west of St. Louis. Now it's just like a suburb of them. It's where a lot of the guys live who played for the Rams back in the day when they were still there. James lived there for a while. This day, 1807, a grand jury is formally brings charges against Aaron Burr. And so what would you think Aaron Burr would be charged with?
Murder.
Yeah, I know. He was never charged with that. That was a legal duel, Bean.
I guess you're right.
Legal duel. Remember that. You could kill somebody if it was an illegal act of an engagement.
Treason?
It was treason, exactly.
Right.
He was charged with treason a number of times. Actually left, now never fully convicted, but I guess he had business activities in Alabama and some stuff out west, and there was multiple accounts of him, they said, trying to create a separate country, like within the United States.
Yeah, can't do that.
And so then he moved to Europe, spent some time over there, and then I guess moved back to the United States and eventually finished out his life here. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, really? They're going to get him for the Aaron Burr murder? But no, they said he was never charged with that. That was considered a legal duel at the time. This date, 1846, the AP, the Associated Press, is formed in New York City.
It's a long time ago.
It really was. We're approaching 200 years here shortly. This date, 1849, future President Lincoln is issued a patent for a device being able to lift boats in and out of rivers.
Ooh.
Only president to ever have a patent, Bean.
All right.
There we go. Schleich could be president under the Lincoln rule.
He's got two of them.
He does. Maybe that
He could run it back to back.
Enhance his chances. Speaking of patents,
He would have my vote.
I tried to have Shark find some audio on this. He couldn't find it, unfortunately. But the Wright brothers were granted U.S. patent 821,393 for their, quote, flying machine.
The flying machine patent.
Well, I mean, who knew what a plane was before you invented it?
Right.
Now we talk about it. Paper airplanes. Build model airplanes, says the little fairy.
We're going backwards with Boeing.
Exactly. Well, trying to get out of the sky.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Beatles songs, Ticket to Ride, hits number one for the Beatles on this date in 1965.
Why don't you sing that for us, Shark?
I think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's today, yeah.
Gosh, you sound just
was
like
The
them.
girl who's setting me
With this high note.
wild is going away. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got it. Go ahead and talk, Bob.
You know what's amazing?
Ticket to ride.
Shark, 'cause you said
Can you pot that down over
You
there?
said
Shark?
that Ticket to Ride was actually in your pocket. They just always had to find
Yeah.
it.
Do you think we're allowed to sing that song on the air?
I don't know. I don't
Might
know.
get copyrighted for it. It
Yeah, we
sounds
might
so
get a
close.
DMA strike.
This day, 1993, Riddick Bowe defeats Jesse Ferguson in 2 rounds for the heavyweight boxing title of the world. Then this day, 2017, current President Donald Trump becomes the first sitting U.S. president to visit the Western Wall in Jerusalem. We've got some birthdays today. T. Boone Pickens, the oil tycoon. Big-time Oklahoma State financier. Yeah. Interesting note about T. Boone Pickens, because he's responsible for most of Oklahoma State's athletic facilities. I mean, he donated like $200 million.
A lot.
He actually went to Texas A&M on a basketball scholarship, was cut from the team, went to Oklahoma State. I'm sure those folks at Texas A&M wouldn't have minded having him stick around.
They're going to regret that.
Because T. Boone Pickens, he passed away, but obviously he's donated a ton of money to the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Drake said the first million is the hardest, and when T. Boone Pickens was alive, he tweeted him and quote tweeted it or retweeted it and said, actually, the first billion is the hardest.
There you
I
go.
thought that was a pretty good drop from him.
He knew it. Born in this state in 1942, passed away last year. Sharks guy, the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski.
Today's plea bargain came after weeks of on-again, off-again negotiations between Theodore Kaczynski, his attorneys, and prosecutors. Prosecutor Robert Cleary.
The Unabomber's career is over. Today, for the very first time, Mr. Kaczynski offered to plead to a sentence of life in prison with absolutely no strings attached.
Then his brother David Kaczynski spoke.
I would like to say that our reaction to today's plea agreement is one of deep relief. We feel it is the appropriate, just, and civilized resolution to this tragedy in light of Ted's diagnosed mental illness.
Wasn't he the one that turned him in?
His brother's wife was the one.
Is that what it was? I knew it was a family member.
Because he wrote him. Ted Kaczynski would write his brother letters, and his wife would obviously like read them or be read to them. And then she's going like through the FBI like database, and they released these letters. She's like, "That's pretty similar. Let's forward that to the FBI," and it ended up being him. Yeah.
What a B. Turn in her brother-in-law. He was just having fun, B. Sending postcards.
Yeah.
She should be lucky that she didn't get one of the special packages.
Seriously.
Tommy John turned 81 today. 26 seasons as a major league pitcher. Four-time All-Star that popularized the Tommy John surgery on the UCL, getting that done. First guy to successfully come back from that. David Blatt, Cavs legend, all-time in winningest coach on percentage basis.
Yes.
In Cavs history.
That's right. And this is after
from when they won the NBA championship?
Nope. He wasn't around for that. He got fired with a 30-11 record.
LeBron.
But this was at the end of the 2015 Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavaliers swept the Atlanta Hawks. This is near the end of Game 4 when LeBron comes up and puts his arm around David.
We ain't done. I just want to tell you, man, what you did for this team and for this city coming back to what you did. You deserve this. Yes, sir. You deserve it, man. Yes, sir. Let's keep going. Yes, sir. Thanks for all you did.
There we go. Like
Ominous.
2 peas in a pod. You deserve this. Brute.
Stabbed right in the back.
Right there. Hey, remember this? A pat on the back is 6 inches away from a smack in the face. Model Naomi Campbell turning at 54. Sean Gunn, actor, turning 50. Most popularized out of Guardians of the Galaxy. Apollo Ono turning 42. The gold medalist in the speed skating short track. Won a couple of them. Couple silvers, 3 bronze. And Julian Edelman, turning 38 years young today, 3-time Super Bowl champion, star of the Tom Brady roast.
This is from the Kelsey podcast, Cover Your Kids' Ears.
I don't care where you're from, what school you went to. Just shut the up. You know, this isn't like in Alabama where you played Louisiana Lafayette Tech of institution. Hey, Edelman, who's 72 on the wall in rookie camp? I go, I don't know, coach. He goes, that's Matt Light. The guy's only played 9 years, has 3 Super Bowls. He's sitting there next week. I'd appreciate it if he knew his name.
Imitating Belichick.
Yeah. It's so good. I'm going to be honest, like, that's spot on.
His Bill impersonation is really good.
I mean, a lot of the guys, you see it so much and it's so dry. I mean, you work on it, but that's it, man. It's good. It's good. The Joker, Novak Djokovic, career slams winner, probably the best men's tennis player of all time, turning 37. Passing away on this date in history, the first lady of all time, Martha Washington, in 1802, and author and playwright Langston Hughes, passing away on this date in 67. It's Bitcoin Pizza Day. Ooh. Shark, I hope you and Jan celebrate. It's Canadian Immigrants Day. Here we go. International Day for Biological Diversity, National Maritime Day, Solitaire Day, Vanilla Pudding Day. How about that? Sherlock Holmes Day and World Orienteering Day.
Ooh.
How about that? My kids are doing a scavenger hunt today. I wonder if that's
because of the St. Charles River, maybe? Because of that situation?
I don't know. You got to orient yourself, Bean. Get that compass out and figure out where you're going. Wagons East, sir. And those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, Wednesday, May 22nd, the 143rd day of the year, and 223 days remaining in this 2024.
Very good job on that, Bob, as always. The Big Ten, they're out earning the SEC. We'll get into that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and a happy Wednesday to you. Right now, we are watching crews clear up a crash on I-70 eastbound. This is right as you meet that 670-70 split. We've got the right shoulder slightly blocked off in those eastbound lanes. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and we're proud to serve our customers for over 40 years, where our name means a great deal. So now it's time to drop those prices so you can save big. All bulk mulchers are now $10 off a yard. I told you, it's time to save. Visit us online at ohiomulch.com.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
There's a little slice of heaven in a country road's escape. Pure perfection in the form of uncrowded nature. Over 1.5 million acres of parks and public lands. From mountain biking to stargazing. Churning white water to quiet trout streams far off the grid. Almost heaven is down to earth in West Virginia. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Hey, it's Bobby. When you have a large investment like a new roof, you want to work with a company you can trust. One with 30 years of experience and hundreds of 5-star Google reviews, 0 complaints with the BBB. That's Newman Roofing. So go check them out at newmanroofing.com or give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and the playoff action is here. And there isn't a more rewarding sportsbook in the game than Tipico. Get ready to bet on the biggest games of the year, the playoff basketball, the hockey, the actions every night. You want to make the most of every game? You've got to bet with Tipico. You'll get up to 5% cash back on your bets. Claim your new sign-up bonus now and get $150 in protected bets when you deposit $100. Sign up now. Enter the promo code TheFan150 to get your bonus. Download the Tipico Sportsbook app today. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions do apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It was a quiet night in Columbus, maybe a little too quiet. Me, Philip Flapper, plumbing detective. I was finishing up for the night when she walked in. Long hair, 2 legs, a couple of arms, a nose, elbows. Pretty standard equipment for this neighborhood. I looked at her, she looked at me, and then we did that thing where we both spoke at the same time. What can I do for you? I'm sorry, that was awkward. We went on to talk about clogs, funny odors, water going down the drain too slow. This is above my pay grade, I told her, and gave her this website, apexpros.com. They're the pros who knows, the kinds of plumbers who don't mind getting their hands dirty. And believe me, what's down those pipes is dirty. Ugh. Call the pros, Apex Pros. And that was it. She walked out of my life, using those legs I told you about earlier.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear from Apex Pros. Apex plumbers are the pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy on it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Waking up this morning, it is definitely on the warm side. Look for lots of clouds and showers out there today. The biggest chance of a strong storm will come this evening. Today, look for a high of 85. Tonight, look for showers and storms with lows in the middle 60s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
For Wednesday edition of the program, Brandon B, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. By the way, we're on YouTube now. If you've ever heard of that before, it's a website. They have videos on it. Go to youtube.com or you can go to the app. You type in 97.1 The Fan, and then boom, all of a sudden our page will be there. It says live stream, and we are on that. You can chat. Well, not with us, but you can chat with Shark. I'm not an admin on the page, but Shark will talk to you on there. All kinds of good stuff. All shows throughout the day are on the YouTube as well.
Even though yesterday was kind of jacked up. Minus the kind of.
Yeah, we're working on that. And by we, I mean somebody else.
But by we, it's more of the royal we.
Yeah.
Meaning no one. We'll try to fix it afterwards.
Anybody, somebody, nobody, and everybody.
100%. And it's really more like nobody because it's not really anybody's responsibility. We just try to delegate it to people.
But we're on there.
We're trying our best.
We're trying our best. We're on there when it works.
Not really. We're telling you we're trying our best.
Well,
those are my kids.
We are trying. Me and you and Shark are trying our best.
I'm going to give you the best entertainment I possibly can.
Yeah.
Whether that's good enough or not, I can't tell you. Mm-hmm. But does anybody else actually care? I don't know.
Fun and drama. That's what we're all about here. So the Big Ten Conference had nearly...
I'll be clicking on the link and see if it works.
The Big Ten Conference had nearly $880 million in total revenue and distribute about $60.5 million to each of its 12 longest standing schools during its 2023 fiscal year, the conference newly released federal tax records show. The figures represent about a 4% increase in total revenue and nearly a 3% increase per school payouts compared to that in 2022. Both the revenue total and the per school number kept the Big Ten ahead of the SEC, which released its tax returns in February. The SEC reported nearly $853 million in revenue and an average about 51.3 being distributed to each of its 14 member schools. The Big Ten's new document, provided the conference by Monday in response to requests from USA Today, showed that the conference operated at a deficit of over just $17.5 million of the year. Including its distributions to schools, Bob, the Big Ten reported spending just over $897 million compared to 2023. So teams got paid a little bit more. We know that. And the interesting part is going to be when we look at this next year, because that was for 2023. Now, the finances of the new TV deal, I don't think kick in until 2024 when all of this jumps up. So, I mean, we're going to see a significant increase in revenue for next year.
$64 million, which is good, but that's not to the level of what it was going to be where it's supposed to be, 85, 90, $100 million a school. So you're talking about another $20 million increase. Ironically, that $20 million is probably going to get gobbled up then by the player allocation, which if the House lawsuit gets settled, which people are anticipating is going to, then that's going to be you're going to have the ability then to, number one, the NCAA is going to pay stuff out, but then they'll have the ability to pay directly from the schools to the players via the TV revenue sharing model.
So that's going to be about a quarter. I mean, that will be a quarter of the money that you're getting every year.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah. The max is what it's supposed to be.
Okay, so 20% is what it's going to be.
22. Check that. It was like $22 million. I forget what the percentage was, but somewhere around there. You're correct.
So the conference earned $880 million from July 1st of 2022 to June 30th of last year. And again, the SEC got $853 million. The Big Ten distributed roughly $60 million to the 14-member schools and roughly adding up to $840 million and $880 paid out. Maryland and Rutgers paid slightly a smaller chunk. I mean, they've been in the conference now for a long time. I want to say it just
burned off. It took 7 years, I want to say, for them to fully get vested, or maybe 8.
So just this past year, Rutgers and Maryland now moving forward will have full shares. Yeah. Will USC and UCLA
they get full Oregon
shares?
And Washington, I believe, get like halves or something coming in.
Okay, that's what I wondered too. Like,
because they negotiated the new deal with USC and UCLA as part of it. That was part of why it bounced up. You've got the LA market, West Coast, all those things, and then Oregon and Washington were kind of bolt-ons, and so they weren't going to get the full allocation at that point.
Like they're going to get. Yeah, I think half of what a full share is, right? At least for now, and I don't know what the next negotiating window.
There's a pathway for them to get a full share, but yes, that's not today.
I said former conference commissioner, good for this guy. Former conference commissioner Jim Delaney ate the biggest chunk and was paid $5.8 million in total incentives.
Jim Delaney.
Deferred payment and retirement compensation. He was also paid a $400,000 salary as an outside consultant for the league.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Consulting with Kevin Warren, helping him get it done. I mean, the only commissioner in the Big Ten that's been worse than Jim Delaney has been Kevin Warren. And I know that people will be like, look what he did with the TV and look what he did with this and the Big Ten Network. Big Ten Network, it's average at best. Like, they mismanaged that situation. And the addition of, people can say this, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, the addition of Rutgers and Maryland was a short-sighted endeavor because neither one of them have really added anything of value. Oh, they gave you these smart. You already had those markets of what you were going to get. Traveling over there didn't help. So Jim Delaney doing that and championing that and like looking at the TV buys, as we look now, like the TV buys, those are, you're still getting a huge chunk, but you think they're airing games on Peacock.
Yeah.
You're going to streaming. And so he did not have the foresight to make the correct additions, which would have been when Oklahoma and Texas came calling, that would have been it.
Kevin Warren received a total of $3.7 million.
My gosh, that's a waste of the money that they paid him and any money that was allocated to prepare the taxes for him. And any money that was spent on him was wasted.
One current college player suing his former team, and bring your brooms because it's a mess. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we're watching crews clear up a crash over on I-70 eastbound, right at that 670 split. We've got the right shoulder slightly blocked off as they work to clear that up. Keep that in mind if you're coming in from the west side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Roof leaks can mean expensive repairs unless you work fast. Legacy Roofing, the leader in Central Ohio commercial roofing, can repair, replace, and maintain your roof to avoid costly damage. At Legacy, we're famous for fast, reliable, safe, and permanent protection for your roof. Our technicians are skilled craftsmen trained by industry leaders like Carlisle, Versico, and Elevate to create lasting roofing systems to protect your investment. Call Legacy Roofing Services today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
New 2024. Up to 72 months Aria. Up to 36 months Rogue. And 6/3/24.
Reichert Nissan has an announcement to make. 0% financing is now available for up to 72 months. Take a Reichert Nissan Aria home today and pay 0% for 72 months. But that's not all. Reichert Nissan also has 0% financing on Rogue 2. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at
Riker. We're dealing. With approved credit. Residency restrictions apply. Offers cannot be combined. Dealer contribution affects consumer cost.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
It's our absolute favorite place to go for that live VIP sportsbook experience. 12,000 square feet of sportsbook action. 2 huge walls of TVs, not to mention delicious food and drink. But your experience can be even better if you download the Penn Play app.
Yep, you can get up to $140 in rewards. It's so easy, dummies like us can do it. Got to download the free Penn Play app today and cash in your bonuses. Plus, you never know, and you'll see Man and I lurking around.
I'm lurking. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services,
No,
even
but-
for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters ASE technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye.
No, but-
Adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Don't miss Tire Discounters Savor the Summer Sale. Details at tirediscounters.com.
NFL Plus Premium is your ticket to the NFL offseason.
With the first pick in the NFL Draft.
Catch all your favorite offseason coverage and stream exclusive content from the NFL Draft, training camp, free agency, and more. Relive the biggest plays from the season with full and condensed game replays.
He's in! Touchdown!
Plus, stay connected with 24/7 football news and coverage on NFL Network. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Beamer and Shark love baseball. Bobby wants to murder Rob Manfred with his bare hands. See? A little something for everyone. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here at 7 o'clock, former Buckeye All-American Michael Bennett. He's going to join us in studio. So he's been, really interested in the NIL stuff, Bob, and kind of the legal scenes. And he was up in Boston a couple of weeks ago speaking on like a panel about it. So be interested to hear what he has to say about this, because this is one of the gnarlier stories that we've seen in a while. And we've talked about this young fella a few times throughout the years. And he had a crazy recruitment, and then he just entered the transfer portal and ended up at Georgia with Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs. Jaden Rashada, the quarterback who is now at the University of Georgia, had a wild commitment, because remember, this was like first in the NIL space, and there were guaranteed dollars between Florida and Miami, and it was crazy. We'll just start you out here. So 16 months ago, and I was reading this on 3 by Pete Nakos, who does a really good job of covering all this stuff. 16 months ago, Florida released quarterback Jaden Rashada from his national letter of intent following a highly publicized NIL-fueled breakup. Now that separation is at the center of a lawsuit. At the heart of a split was a 4-year, $13.85 million contract that played a crucial role in Rashada flipping his commitment from Miami to Florida in November of 22. According to court documents, the Gators ultimately reneged on their unprecedented NIL collective agreement, leaving the quarterback without a school and out millions of dollars. Rashada, now at Georgia, after spending his freshman year at Arizona State, filed a 37-page complaint yesterday morning in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida under claims that he was repeatedly lied to for him to flip his commitment from Miami to Florida. Gators coach Billy Napier former Florida director of NIL and player engagement Marcus Castro Walker, and well-known Florida booster Hugh Hathcock are named.
What a great name, by the way.
That's a terrific name.
Hugh Hathcock.
I wanted to make sure that I was reading that correctly. Are named as defendants.
Beanie?
The lawsuit also names Hathcock's former employee Velocity Automotive, which was supposed to use to help fund the financial package. University Athletic Association, here's what the Florida Athletic Department had to say about it. We do not comment on ongoing litigation. Neither the University Athletic Association nor the university are named in the complaint. The UAA will provide for Coach Napier's personal counsel, and we will direct all questions to those who have representatives. I mean, he is suing his former coach. He is suing
his coach?
Director of player personnel. It technically was because he signed it, and then they let him out of it like a day later.
Yeah, because they didn't have the money. And they kept probably promising him that. And it used to be once you get guys signed, it was so punitive to transfer. But now they'll let you out of it because what are you going to do? They can hit that transfer portal, enroll early, and then transfer in March anyway. Or April when that first portal window comes open.
And there was I'm trying to think, Bob, what was the guy's name for Alabama who went to the transfer portal, went to...
The tackle for Iowa?
Yeah, went to Iowa. Was it Caden Proctor? Is that correct? Is that the right name? And then he went back.
I think Caden with a K.
Yeah. Has he gone back to Alabama?
Yeah, he's back at Alabama.
Went back to Alabama.
He left after the season, went there during the spring before playing a game or even, I think, really practicing.
Yeah.
Announced he was going to get back in the portal and then went back down to Alabama.
So Rashada committed to the Miami Hurricanes in June of 2022. The lawsuit states that Rashada had a $9.5 million NIL promise with the Canes, but Rashada decommitted in November, promptly flipped to the Florida Gators and Coach Napier. He signed the national letter of intent during a December signing period. However, he did not enroll at Florida, and his arrival in Gainesville was contingent on a 4-year, $13.85 million deal. Rashada asked for a release from his letter of intent when the deal fell through. The Gator Collective, an independent fundraising organization that distributed money to UF athletes at the time, was responsible for the deal. However, the financial backing did not materialize. Obviously, it didn't. It's $13.85 million for one player. Rashada was released from his letter of intent. Then he took a visit, and then he went to Arizona State.
The thing is, after he'd already committed, once you get that point, everybody already has their quarterbacks, and everybody's already spent most of their NIL allocations. And so I understand what he was saying. He was brought there under false pretenses. He was lied to. And especially if he has any documentation of this, which I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he does.
There's probably a lot of text messages back and forth, maybe some emails, potential contracts or whatever. I don't know if there's a signed contract or not. There may have been, and then maybe they try to pull the rug on him. But this is why they want this to come in-house on the schools, because you're relying on third-party agents and collectives to get this figured out, and it really isn't involved with the school, but it is, because the coaches, as much as they say, I don't know if they're allowed to have contact or conversation now or whatever it's supposed to be, but there is obviously this is the guy we want, allocate these many dollars to it, whatever we can get, tell us our total kitty, and this is the stuff that you're hearing. These are going to be, I was waiting for this to happen because I had talked to folks about this, and they said stories like this were more common than not happening here as of late.
So it said, after his commitment to Miami, the court docs say that Hathcock offered Jaden an approximately $11 million UF-affiliated NIL deal. That would have to run through the boosters Velocity Automotive and his NIL collective, the Gator Guard. So there's a couple of collectives, there's different businesses. The suit also says that talks with Florida reignited roughly 4 months later when Castro Walker reached out to Rashada's agent, Jackson Zager and Tommy Thompson, in October. Yeah, these are awesome names. In October of 22. According to the suit, the former director of player engagement just sent a text, here you go. This is everything now as we get into court. Like, texts are available.
This is someone from the university then.
This is someone from Florida.
Yep.
Said, we need to lock down Jaden. He also wrote, University of Florida would want Jaden to flip this week. So flip his commitment from Miami to Florida. Negotiations between Hathcock, Castro Walker, and Rashada's representation started shortly after, according to the lawsuit. As part of the $13.85 million contract eventually agreed upon, Hathcock would pay $5.35 million, including $500,000 signing bonus, though Hathcock's company, Velocity Automotive, court documents state. Hathcock, Castro Walker, and Coach Napier all knew something that Jaden did not. No one had any intention of enforcing Hathcock's promise to pay $500,000, nor did they have any way of enforcing it.
Well, that's the problem. The way of enforcement, I've said this about NIL, especially through the collectives. You're going to sue the collective? Like, if there's nothing there to sue, like, what are you getting? So I'm not sure. But now he's going after this guy personally, which is very interesting.
According to filing, Jennifer Grosso, the Gator Collective's attorney, drafted the NIL contract. She later said in a phone call per the lawsuit that Hathcock would wire monthly payments to the collective and ultimately to Rashada.
Smart of her, at least, by saying that in a phone call.
Well, then she wrote this in a text. I might go to sleep if I had $500K headed my way in 2 weeks, but we need a commitment to get there. I mean, all this stuff is being tracked and all this stuff is being documented.
I love it.
And I have a hard time imagining that he is going to lose this case.
He might not get all of it, but he's going to get a chunk of it.
He's going to get something out of it.
He went to Arizona State and didn't play very well.
Yeah.
Well, and he was a freshman, and, like, he went there late. It was a mess. They already had a guy and all these things. But, I mean, if someone people, you can argue all you want whether NIL is okay or not. People like it. I mean, I understand this is the negative parts of it.
Yeah.
The bigger issue of all of this is the fact that there's essentially promissory notes. I mean, these things are being delivered to these players, and they have representation on their side. And I have heard rumblings that this has happened more. Now, maybe not to the extreme of these dollars, and maybe it wasn't all or nothing, like, because they didn't pay him anything.
Nothing. Yeah, they paid him nothing.
I mean, if they would at least sent the $500,000,
then you get him on campus, and then maybe you can work it out from there.
Working things out. Hey, 13's a little steep. Hey, we can pay you this and that and whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
not to say that then he wouldn't be released and wouldn't leave anyways.
Yeah, but
you would have something, and I think you would avoid litigation on this front. According to the lawsuit, 4 defendants defrauded the quarterback by falsely promising the $13 million, and not to be fulfilled, and neither nor Hathcock or Billy Napier had any intention of filling it. The complaint also cites false statements that were allegedly made to Rashada, including the $1 million payout he would receive for his national letter of intent. So it started at $1 million, then it got back to $500,000. The complaint states the purpose of these promises was obviously and indisputably to induce Jaden to change universities and the football program.
Yeah. I mean, that's without a doubt what they're trying to do.
It's on paper. I mean, it's on paper. We already have the text from that.
That's the problem, is those things were in text. And now, Beam, what does Rothman say? Say it, forget it, text it, regret it. And there you go. Once it's all locked in, you're done.
Casher Walker's no longer with the Florida program. Hathcock, a longtime Florida booster, is not involved in NIL activities, and his Gator Guard collective shut down.
That's what I'm saying. So you could sue the Gator Guard collective, but there's nothing there. So they're going after him personally, and we'll see. Oh, gosh, this will be beautiful. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
I mean, if you want to go read the entire 38-page document, you
Suspense is terrible, Beam. I hope it lasts.
The NFL might be finally catching up to the 21st century. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, 2 crashes to let you know about. The first one on the ramp from 33 westbound to 270 northbound on the southeast side has some lane closures and traffic slow moving leading up to that split. We're also still watching a crash on I-70 eastbound right at the 670 split that has the right shoulder blocked. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Glow Fiber. Glow Fiber Business is now in Ohio. With prepackaged and customized fully fiber optic business internet solutions, call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Ah, the sweet sounds of spring. Baseball, birds, and the glorious hum of a freshly tuned AC system. Don't sweat it. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling Team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
The Sign and Drive Green Tag event continues, offering 0% for 84 months with no money down on a John Deere compact utility tractor with loader. Limited time offer. Visit your local Ag Pro today. Offer ends May 31st, 2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
My guys at Germain Lexus are getting ready for the Memorial. What they do every single year is let the golfers drive around in beautiful Lexuses for the week. Then they take those cars and sell them to you. You could be driving Rory's car. The Germain all-month-long celebration's going on right now. You can get great deals like this one. 2024 RX 350, 36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $49.99 down, $519 a month. I just picked up my brand new RX 350 a few weeks ago. It is plush. Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton, germainlexus.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
And right now, get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. It can all be installed in as little as 1 day.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
The Fan is your home for NBA playoff action. Catch every game of the conference finals and NBA finals on The Fan and ESPN Columbus. How does one listen to such magical things? On the Fan app, silly. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. Do it.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, and if that sizzling sound made your mouth water, you are in the right place. Let's talk about something sizzling. That's making a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crispy, savory goodness. It's one of the 50 reasons I chose Awaken 180. 50 pounds in only 3 months, and I did it while still enjoying a ton of my favorite foods. The difference? I had my coach showing me how to enjoy them the right way. A full Bacon 180. But hey, maybe you're not a bacon fan. I personally can't relate, but no bacon? No problem. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. Yes, that's a thing, and you're covered too. The point, if you want to lose weight, lose it fast, and then keep it off, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180 online at awaken180weightloss.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debt? It's normal, and a SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your DEBT to one low fixed monthly payment. You could get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. View your rate at SoFi.com/paid-off. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/paid-off. NMLS 696891.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking the risk of thunderstorms as we head into this evening. Look for a mostly cloudy sky today, along with a few pop-up showers or storms. The best chance of strong storms will come tonight. Biggest threats will be large hail and damaging winds. Temperatures today will be in the middle 80s. Tonight, we drop down to the middle 60s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
We here on The Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Healthy, leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing. For top quality and a price match guarantee, visit SchottensteinRoofing.com.
Sharky.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy hump day to you both. A decade or so ago, Monsanto was talking about creating fiber optic football fields with sensors in footballs so they would automatically determine where the ball should be spotted on out-of-bounds punts or out-of-bounds plays or first downs, etc.
So we don't have to bring out the note card.
You're telling me that the ref looking up in the sky and then running up and trying to triangulate where it went out of bounds?
That is not an exact science.
Are you sure about that? All those refs are engineers, Shark. I watch them pull out their abacus and slide rule, and they work that thing out.
It takes two refs, one on the side and one out in the middle of the field, and then they diagonally. It's all about angles, Bob. But anyway, that hasn't materialized yet. We are getting closer, however. The NFL will test an optical tracking system for line to gain rulings this preseason. There will still be chains and first down markers for the coaches and the players and the fans to visualize. But Beamer, if all goes well, the NFL will implement the technology for the regular season.
Well, it's about time. I mean, how many times have we gotten into, and whether it's be college football or the NFL, that was a bad spot. Whether your team is short or whether the other team, they gave them a favorable spot. I mean, sometimes, Bob, they're off by, it seems, 2 or 3 feet, and obviously that can make a huge difference. The crazy part to me is, like, we have technology now, and the NFL, I would say, is
UFL is using it?
A good innovator for everything. And now, like, you watch tennis, we can see the fibers on the tennis ball down to like a millimeter, and whether or not via that like Skyhawk technology or whatever they call it, where it goes out of bounds and whether it's in or not. We have VAR in the Premier League. We can now see like if the entire ball is over, and we have that too in MLS around the world. Like, we have these types of systems. I don't know why it's taken the NFL so long to get on board with it. Maybe it's because of the mystery and intrigue and you're watching, but the fact that we just do it with 10-yard chains, and we had to bring out a couple of years ago, I don't know if it was Gene Steratore or Ed Hockley, maybe he had to bring out that index card to try to slide it through to the chain marker. Like, that was crazy. But I'm glad to know that they finally started to kind of get on board and come around to this idea.
Listen, there's no greater suspense than watching a couple of retirees jog out on the field and extend those chains. They start pulling it, and you're trying to judge it with your mind. Yeah. And then, Shark, you see them give that last tug. Is there like any kink in the chain? Is there anybody?
Hey, one link short.
I know guys, they said at home, he's like, if they were the anchor guy at the back, he's like, you just turn it, kind of wrap it a little bit, get a couple extra chains, and we're on offense. Helps to tighten it down for you. I mean, it's antiquated. It's ridiculous. It's part of the game. They need to find a better way to be able to do it. And I'm curious to see, but I do enjoy the suspense of it.
Fun and drama.
The fun and drama. I mean, there's a lot. When old boy pulled out that note card, and I went to slide it down, like, where did that come from, by the way?
Do you keep it in there for emergency situations only?
It's good stuff. Hopefully they do get something figured out, though.
OTAs have begun around the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers is full go for the Jets after suffering that season-ending Achilles injury during his first offensive series last season. Rodgers admits he's under a lot of pressure to save his coaches' jobs.
If I don't do what I know I'm capable of doing, we're all probably going to be out of here. So I like that kind of pressure, though. It's a tough market to play in. It's not for everybody. Relish that opportunity. But that's the way the NFL is. I'm not saying anything monumental as you guys are typing away and putting your tweets out. This is how it is every single year. You might not just say it, but as you get older in the league, if you don't perform, they're going to get rid of you or bring in the next guy to take over. I mean, it happened in Green Bay. So, and I'm a few years older than I was back then. So I expect to play at a high level. I expect this to be productive and competitive and all that stuff to take care of itself.
Bob, at least Rodgers doesn't have Zach Wilson breathing down his back.
That's probably where the pressure, his Achilles couldn't stand the weight of it.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson on his back like that. I was getting out of my silo yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I told you I had to drive out east, so I listened to the full hour and a half of Bishop and Friends, and one of the friends made an inaccurate statement. My man Chops said OTAs, and they're talking about who was there, T. Higgins not being there. And he said it stands for optional. The O stands for optional. And that's what the purpose of it. You don't have to be there, Mike.
Off season.
No, it's organized.
Off season, organized.
It's
optional.
Organized team activities. You were wrong. Chops was vehemently wrong as he sat there and tried to drive it in as he upped the volume on it. Organized team activities. Cern's out there doing his thing. I mean, this is who he is. He loves to sit there. I mean, it's like fireside chats with Roosevelt up there, Shark. It's vehemently typing away on your tweets. You leave, I don't get it done, we get fired. I mean, I just love his cool, nonchalant attitude about it. And because he has supreme confidence in himself, Beam.
I hope I can envision a world in which the Browns make the playoffs and meet the New York Jets. Maybe they're on the road. Maybe they're in Cleveland. Joe Flacco's playing quarterback again. We've rekindled some of the magic for the Browns. And the Browns beat the Jets in the playoffs. And nothing would bring me greater joy than that. It's just been it has been a crazy last year for Aaron Rodgers.
So avenge that loss to who was Joe Flacco a couple years ago at home?
Yeah, for sure. That was awful.
Shark remembers that one.
Yeah, the onside, they're up 13 or up 14 with 90 seconds left.
99.99% chance of winning.
Yeah. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers used to dealing with pressure, and we'll see if his Achilles can hold up to that strength.
Scottie Scheffler's arraignment in a Louisville courtroom was supposed to be heard yesterday, but his attorney wasn't available. It was moved to June 3rd. Scheffler faces four charges, including a felony count of assaulting a police officer. Louisville police officers are mandated to turn on their body cams when confronting a suspect. That didn't happen, so there's no body cam footage. And Louisville's mayor wants to know why. The officer didn't even turn it on when he arrested Scheffler. Scheffler's rep is downplaying the whole incident, calling it just a big misunderstanding. And Scheffler himself isn't allowed to talk about the case. So, Beamer, we have a lot of questions and not yet too many answers.
Yeah, and no, it stinks because that arraignment date, I don't know if this will impact his playing schedule moving forward, but that is on, the week of the Memorial Tournament here. So he's going to have to be down in Louisville that week.
He wasn't even sure if he was going to have to attend.
He doesn't have to go. His attorney could just represent him.
Okay, yeah, so he wasn't there yesterday when all this was going down. But yeah, moved, and he's going to go to court, and I don't know if those cases are going to be dropped or what's going to happen. It seems like this could be an easy fix, but it doesn't really look like they're going to go down that way.
No, I don't think they're going to charge him. I think they're going to drop the charges, and we'll see what happens. And listen, if you got failure to comply or some other minor stuff, I think that would be fine. Stuff they could have wrote a ticket for. Have we ever thought that maybe the cops cam turned off when he jumped on the car? When we were talking about taking extreme positions in life, the guy's just driving around at a modest pace, trying to get through there, not endangering anybody. We choose to jump on the car like they're trying to get Ted Kaczynski, who was just sentenced today.
It's a bold strategy, Con. See if it pays off for him. Yeah. Former Buckeye Michael Bennett, he's going to hang out with us in studio next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and a happy Wednesday to you. 2 crashes to let you know about. The first one on the ramp from 33 westbound to I-270 northbound on the southeast side. We've got some lane closures on that ramp and that traffic in those westbound lanes of 33. Slow moving leading up to that split. Also still watching a crash on I-70 eastbound right at the 670 split that has the right shoulder blocked. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated, but I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes drinks like Coke and Sprite, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
For roof leaks and roof replacements, call Legacy Roofing Services, Central Ohio's commercial roofing leader. Legacy Roofing Services, ranked in the top 100 roofers in America. Call Legacy today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
Picture this. You arrive at your hotel. You have an important online meeting lined up with clients from all across the country. You have your laptop open, ready to begin, and the Wi-Fi is so terrible, you can't even connect. These types of stressful situations happen all the time, but they don't have to. When you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you have access to their free high-speed Wi-Fi, so you can take care of those critical emails, join your meetings on time, and even unwind by streaming your favorite shows without having to worry. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. Joseph Mershon had a double, a homer, and 4 RBIs as the 7th-seeded Buckeyes crushed 2nd-seeded Nebraska in their first game at the Big Ten tournament in Omaha, 15-2. Ohio State meets Indiana tomorrow afternoon in the double elimination event. Last season, the Guardians were dead last in the major leagues by a large margin with just 124 home runs. This season, they've already hit 53 and are on pace to hit 175 for the season. Last night, Jose Ramirez hit his 12th and David Fry his 5th, both 2-run shots, as the Guardians topped the Mets 7-6. After losing road series to the Giants, Diamondbacks, and Dodgers on their West Coast trip, the Reds returned home and blanked the Padres 2-0. Cincinnati scored 2 unearned runs in the second, and the pitching staff did the rest. The Sports Center is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give Mark Levy a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Wednesday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Joined in the studio now by former Buckeye Michael Bennett. Michael, thanks for the time, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Looking good back here in Columbus. So you're going to hang out with us here coming up over the next hour. So we'll get into some NIL stuff and everything. I know that's kind of not what you've been working on, but find that to be interesting. So we'll get into that coming up here a little bit. And then Berm, he's going to join the program coming up here around 8:35.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
NBA playoffs last night. Pacers unfortunately fall down to the Celtics. They're down 1-0. 133-128. Game went to overtime, though. It's a pretty good one. Pacers with a 5-point lead with 90 seconds left to go. Couldn't find a way to close it out in Boston for game number 1.
That was tough. I thought they were going to win that thing. When I found out they lost this morning, I was
3-point lead with 20 seconds left to go.
Yeah, I had turned it off in early fourth quarter. I was like, they'll be fine. It seemed like they were in control. They started really slow, then picked it back up, and it was disappointing to say the least. Because I thought that you steal that game 1 in Boston, you feel good about life.
Oh, you feel really good. And I saw our good friend Albert Breer tweeting, series over, after the first 5 minutes of the 5 minutes of the game. Pacers with a late turnover. They had the ball up 3 with 10 seconds left, and then it kind of disappeared from there. So Celtics steal game number 1 at home, 133-128 in overtime. Mavs with the Wolves tonight, game number 1 of the Western Conference Finals, coming up at 8:30. Mike, who you got in the NBA playoffs? I mean, I know that we were watching the Nuggets and the Wolves a couple of weeks ago. I mean, have you been watching these? I know you've been studying a lot too.
Yeah, I haven't been too locked in. You know, they're coming on pretty late, 8:30 or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are some of the start times.
You sound like an old man now.
I know. I'm in bed by 9:30 these days. But I'll have to go with the young superstar Ant. You know, they found a way to win. They found a way to move on. So I'll have to ride that wave.
So you're going with the Wolves as we get into the playoffs. Panthers at the Rangers tonight, game number 1 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Reds and the Guards both win last night. Buckeye baseball update for you. They're in Omaha for the Big Ten tournament. They're the 7th seed.
Smacked Nebraska.
Smoked Nebraska yesterday. The dugout was full of water because of the storms they had. So everything was kind of delayed in Omaha yesterday. The 7th seeded Buckeye baseball team in Omaha beat Nebraska 15-2. Yeah, so they're moving on to the next round. Their next game comes tomorrow against the 3rd-seeded Hoosiers of Indiana. That game's at 3 o'clock. That will be over on our AM channel, ESPN Columbus 1460 AM at 2:55 starting with Matt Andrews on the call for that one. That's a 3 o'clock start for them tomorrow. We got some Buckeye basketball news yesterday as well. Buckeye men's hoop's going to open the season in Vegas against Texas at the beginning of November. Okay. So we got that going for us, which is nice. So, Mike, tell us about your last couple of weeks, buddy. I know that you've been finishing up law school, graduated a couple of weeks ago at Howard in D.C., and then swiftly got stuff moved over here, right?
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. You know, I had went to a little conference in Boston for NIL for an NIL talk, and then jumped right into graduation, and then jumped right into moving back to Columbus, and now we're in the throes of bar prep. So, not a lot of downtime in the last couple weeks, but this is what we got to do.
How's it been sharing a room with William? Moving back
it wasn't too bad. I probably snored more than him.
That's good. Do you take a nap at 10? Take a nap at 8 o'clock too?
No, I'm not up early enough to get away with that.
So so you spent the night with us. Was that last week? A couple weeks ago?
Yeah, last week.
And it was funny because I told you we had to rearrange the room. We brought William from upstairs to downstairs, and you hadn't stayed with us since we kind of had moved stuff around. So it was like, 10:30, 10:45, 11 o'clock, getting ready to go to bed. I'm like, all right, man, I got to go sleep. I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And Mike takes a left-hand turn to go into what was our guest bedroom. And since
Michael's room.
It's my room.
Michael's room. So it takes a turn to go in there. And I'm like at the top of the stairs. I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't, no. At all costs, point to the sign. Like, don't, you go in the other room.
Because I'm pretty sure you guys had his crib at first in the room on the right.
Well, we did. Before we got to a crib, it was like a pack and play and like a diaper changing station and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, then he asked me, he's like 10 o'clock at night. He's like, can I take a shower? I'm like, no. Nobody makes any noise in this house past 9 o'clock.
Don't you put on like some white noise or something in his room?
He hears.
Yeah.
Even through all of that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure he does.
Okay.
He's a light sleeper.
All right, it seems
he's got the house in a chokehold.
Yeah, luckily last night he slept through the middle of the night. I don't know what's going on, if it's some sort of like clinginess. But in the middle of the night, Bob, the last few nights, he's woke up. And usually, like, it's a cry. You go put the pacifier back in. Like, you're okay. And the last couple of nights, he has just been screaming.
Yeah.
Like, he just, like, a scared scream, terrified scream. And I'm, like, popping out of bed and running down there. I'm like, what's wrong?
Gaining consciousness.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Nothing's wrong. It's just that he's screaming. He's tired of being, I guess, alone.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Well, now he's aware of things being. But that's why I told you. I told him, I had 4 kids. They're all alive, and one is going to high school. My youngest will be in 2nd grade. I gave him some of our extra tools. We have Michael, call it a crib topper. It's actually like a cage that you basically put on top. It has a zipper. You can put the kid in.
Yeah.
And then also with that, I said for naps, you drape a blanket over top of it, then it becomes a bird cage, so like the kid can sleep during the day.
That's what you do for puppies. That's what you do for dogs when you're trying to crate train them.
You think human beings are that much different?
I'm saying, yeah. Well, I guess then I know how to have a kid because I have a dog. It's the same thing, right?
It is. I would actually argue.
Dog's easier when you're younger.
I would argue that the human is easier than the dog in the first couple of weeks
early
or so.
on, yes.
I mean, you got to get the baby up every 3 hours. Like, you got to make sure that he's they're still breathing and they're still alive. Other than that, you kind of just plop them down and they're just a pile of meat. Like a puppy, as soon as you get it, man, it's like you don't realize how much stuff in your house is valuable until Theo rips a couch cushion up and a chair cushion.
I was going to say, I used to, I'm not going to downplay how hard it is to be a parent, but I know that having a 4-month or 6-month-old Great Dane who's 110 pounds.
You have that? Oh, really? You got
she's 8 now.
You got a Great Dane?
I had a Great Dane.
Did you get that when you were in college?
No. I got 2nd year in the league.
Why don't you tell us some stories about that?
Horrible, man. It was horrible. It was horrible. She is a little angel. She's the best puppy that's ever been born. But for the first 2 years of her life, if I step foot out that door, pee and poop on the ground and tear something up. Like within 2 minutes, every single time. I don't know, Bob. Imagine coming back from camp.
Oh, those are not small dumps either.
No, dude, and it was like 4 of them. Tell me how. I'm not going to get worked up right now. We're having a good time.
You haven't even been eating. Where did all this come from? Well, maybe she was. Maybe she was eating the pillows and the.
She'd find something.
She'd just find something.
Yeah, she hit 2 years old though, and all of a sudden she's like, you know what? I'm too old for that. I'm going to be respectable.
Maturity's big.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a situation where you came home from camp, like the garbage and everything was just...
Oh, God.
Dude, it was it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. She would tear something up. There would be 3 or 4 piles of poop, and then just the largest pool of pee you've ever seen in your life. Ever. And yeah.
I'm sure that's what you wanted too, coming back from a 12-hour camp day.
Yeah, as you can imagine, I handled it calmly and didn't raise my voice.
Oh, my...
Yeah, I would argue that the first couple of months with a puppy is harder than with a child.
Yeah, but they switch pretty quick. I mean, now she sleeps like all day.
Yeah.
You know, she listens to what you say. She's chill. And I would imagine at 8 years old, a kid is
not even
just
8.
getting started.
Probably about the same time. The kid flips at about 2.5 when they become fully mobile, understanding what's going on. That's when, I caught my daughter like using nail polish, like painting stuff in the house with that. I mean, just randomness, like the kids coloring all over the place. Like that's when they're aware and they're able to invoke some of their personality and also be punitive and punish you because if you're leaving or this or that. Like one of my kids, and I'll keep remain nameless. Like we locked. I would say we locked.
It's a 25% chance that we were going to get it right. You got 4
we
of
had
them.
nap time, and nap time it comprised of like you're going to be in your room, and you're going to stay in your room for 2 hours. Now, what you choose to do at that time, well, that's up to you. But there wasn't a whole lot to do, and eventually you'd wear them down. They go to sleep. Well, this particular child got so upset and was a very strong-willed child. Took their diaper off. And then just wiped it all over the wall. Like all through like the return vent. I mean.
Oh, Bob.
And like I'll tell you, dude, when you go back up for nap time and like you can smell the kid before you get to the room, like this, what am I walking into? What am I
war zone,
You're trying to imagine the worst possible scenario to prepare yourself for it, but I don't think I was ever prepared for that.
How do you? Where do you even start?
Because I think with the walls, wipe those down. Get some. You use like a cleaner, like with disinfectant on it, because you're cleaning fecal matter off the walls, and then you transition from that to the floor.
I think I would emotionally shut down. Like I don't think I would know what to do.
Just have to disassociate.
It was tough. I mean, like this is my child.
Got to disassociate with you now. Like
it was terrible. It was terrible. But I'm like, okay, you take this one. I'll start working on this. You bathe this one because it was all over themselves as well. It was brutal.
Just go cut the grass.
Exactly.
Wait till the wife checks it out.
Honey, I leave. So the other night,
you need some milk.
I've told this before, but and he hasn't done this in a few weeks now. But Williams had a nice. He's added a nice weapon to his arsenal. He started to poop in the bathtub.
That's beautiful.
So that's been good. And I hear Meredith. She's like, no. I mean, she's screaming. She's like screaming. And so I'd be in the other room and like on my way to like see what's going on. Oh. And then in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go outside and take the trash.
I think Mary's
out.
got a handle.
I think
I was yelling for you. I was taking the trash out, dude.
Oh, yeah, I was taking Theo on a walk.
The neighbor grabbed me and just, sorry about that.
I was talking to Eric.
We're all doing our jobs.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the house clean up after dinner and everything. Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, nope, I got to go. I got to go to the other room. How's the bar studying been? All right. I mean, is it as intense as what people say that it is?
Yeah, I'll tell you, law school is hard, but, some people, I think, make it out to be more than what it was for me. Bar prep, I think people have been underselling it. I think I didn't, we're 3 days in.
Into 2.5 months.
Into 10 weeks. And they at first they said, okay, you're probably going to want to study like 6 to 8 hours a day. And I heard that. I was like, okay, well, 6 isn't that bad. 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening, that's nothing. It's a job. That's not too bad. And then I'd studied for the first day and I got like 6 hours in and I was like, I still have to do some multiple choice questions or I got to do some review. And then Tuesday, we got into, I'm almost learning an entire semester's class in 3 days. Mm. And so I was like, oh, maybe I have to, study 8-9 hours a day every day for 10 weeks. I was like, okay, let's calm down. Let's not start spiraling.
The depression spiral. There's no end in sight.
Yeah.
It's like your third day in camp. You're really sore, already beat up. Like, oh my gosh, I got like 2.5 more weeks of this.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. You're like, okay, I don't, are we really supposed to memorize 16 subjects? And the answer is yes. And so you just got to trust the process and grind it out. But yeah, yesterday I was like, oh, okay.
What's the alternative? Having to do it again? I mean, you invested 3 years. You have to pass this thing.
Yeah, or go be a consultant or something.
That doesn't sound too bad.
No, but like you said, you got to get it done. Yeah. It's got to get done, so you can only get too upset about it, too down in the dumps about it. You just got to put the hours in, and then once it's done, you're smooth sailing. You got to do some CLEs and stuff like that. But yeah, this is the biggest hurdle.
We're going to ask you some NIL questions on a lawsuit that came out yesterday as we hang out with former Buckeye Michael Bennett in studio. That's
pending attorney.
Pending attorney. Well, future lawyer. Are you technically an attorney or are you a lawyer?
I'm technically a lawyer, not an attorney.
Juris Doctorate?
Yeah.
This is JD.
We'll check in. We'll ask some questions to our in-house Juris Doctorate. Yep. Michael Bennett next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. We're still watching crews clear up a crash on I-70 eastbound right at the 670 split. Also still watching crews clear up a crash on the ramp from 33 westbound to I-270 northbound on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Right now during Ram season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for $479 a month for 42 months with $4,279 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and the playoff action is here. And there isn't a more rewarding sportsbook in the game than Tipico. Get ready to bet on the biggest games of the year, the playoff basketball, the hockey, the actions every night. You want to make the most of every game? You've got to bet with Tipico. You'll get up to 5% cash back on your bets. Claim your new sign-up bonus now and get $150 in protected bets when you deposit $100. Sign up now. Enter the promo code TheFan150 to get your bonus. Download the Tipico Sportsbook app today. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions do apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
O'Reilly. You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Waking up this morning, it is definitely on the warm side. Look for lots of clouds and showers out there today. The biggest chance of a strong storm will come this evening. Today, look for a high of 85. Tonight, look for showers and storms with lows in the middle 60s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beamer is tweeting about Formula One. Oh, hells yes. Bobby is tweeting Rick Springfield concert video. Both are a cry for help. This is one twisted mother. This is Morning Juice.
Here's Long here, little Wednesday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. We got former Buckeye Michael Bennett in studio with us. By the way, we're now on YouTube. You go to youtube.com. It's a brand new website. They have a lot of videos on there. You type into the search bar 97.1 The Fan, and then all of a sudden, boom, our live feed will pop up to you. So good morning to the streamers out there.
Hold on, we got a couple of streamer comments/questions.
We do. Joe, go ahead.
Joe Goodspeed, I think related to Stanley Goodspeed out of the Rock. Mr. Bennett doesn't need to wear a coat in studio because he just got here. He probably wasn't aware of the temperature, and
I'm sweating.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are
It's
doing.
not that cold currently.
Yeah.
Usually around 7:30 is
I
when
feel it kind of kicking on. I feel
cold
like
front comes in right here. So if you had to stand there for 3 hours, the last hour and a half gets cold, and then also interviews are dope when you're in person, courtesy of Phil J. Bennett looks like he's got a couple of series left in him.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know, I might try my hand. You know, let them know my name.
Short yardage.
Yeah.
I don't need any third down. I need 2-minute pass rush. But
you don't understand how quickly my body would fold up on me. Everything would just.
How many plays do you think?
My Achilles, as soon as I fired off the ball, it just both of them simultaneously.
Oh, no, you'd be fine. You're still, what are you, 30? Are you 30 yet?
31, man.
31, yeah, you're not bad.
I don't know. I did the Stairmaster yesterday.
How was that?
Stairmaster.
It's pretty strong. It's about the same as a NFL football game, right? The Stairmaster?
Oh, yeah.
15 minutes?
Are you talking about like the climber that you had to the tracks that move?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. Like, there's the old Stairmaster you just pump up and down.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I mean, Doc Schuler does the Stairmaster for like an hour up there. You remember Doc Schuler at the Woody?
Yeah.
And he's still doing it, and he's like 70 something. So, and he does for like
maybe
an hour.
he could go play an NFL football game.
I don't know if that's the full requirement. But yes.
I think it would be fun.
You should pop on over while you're in town. And they've got the 6 o'clock workout. Schleggs would probably love to get
Schleggs
back.
Schleggs is back. If you haven't heard, Schleggs is back working.
Oh, he would love for you
now.
to come in maybe one day.
Yeah, I might stop by, but I'm definitely not volunteering. No. I'm going to stop by. I'm not volunteering for a Schleggs 6 a.m. workout at the Woody.
I don't know if you're volunteer. It's more of a drafted situation.
I'll get drafted maybe in September after I've done the Stairmaster for a couple months, but I don't know.
Bob's still out there running around. I mean, he's still got it in him.
You're doing those wind sprints, right? The build-ups?
Because if you stop, Mike, then it's really hard to get going again.
And I have stopped.
So you play with Joshua Perry used to always laugh at me and all that stuff. And now that Josh is a couple years older than you, I think.
No.
He's the same age?
He's 1 year younger or the same age.
Okay, so you know what? That's right. Because I'm about 10 years older than you guys. And so when you guys were there, I was about your age when you guys were all going. And I said, man, why are you doing all this? I'm like, because the day you stop, that rock stops and it starts to really harden and solidify. It's like concrete.
It really does. Your body just starts locking up. So now I'm in that process of get back to it, get the gears running again. And that is less fun.
Well, you're keeping your mind sharp. You just graduated law school. You're studying for the bar. So we've got some questions to ask you. And this was a story. We were talking about this in the 6 o'clock hour. And Jaden Rashada, pretty high-profile player, former ESPN 300 quarterback recruit, sued the University of Florida and Coach Billy Napier yesterday. Rashada is claiming that he was defrauded millions of dollars in name, image, and likeness money. The lawsuit, among other things, alleges that Napier promised the player's father a $1 million, quote, partial payment upon signing. Rashada never got the money. The boosters never fulfilled the deal, the lawsuit states, and it's the latest long saga involving the player and the school. So you have to go all the way back to, I think this was like November, September of 2022. So he had a recruitment, Mike. He was recruited to Miami. Apparently, there was like $9.85 million on the table to him in Miami, or somewhere around the region of $9 million. So then fast forward a little bit, Billy Napier in Florida want to go after this guy. Promised him $13.85 million. He gets $1 million for signing bonus of like $500,000. His pops is going to get some money and all kinds of craziness. So, I mean, to you are now practicing law, this lawsuit. And again, I mean, I'm not going to read the 38-page court document. If you want to do that, you can. Yeah, you can read that
quick, yeah.
With what's going on there. But I mean, would there be any sort of repercussion now for Florida in this whole thing?
So, without reading the whole court document, this really is like, year one of law school, a contracts case.
Meeting of the minds, Michael.
Meeting of the minds, yeah. Is there, was there consideration, offer, acceptance, all that kind of stuff? And then there are also other legal principles of, did he rely on their, did he reasonably rely on them promising $13 million and miss out on the $9 million?
He decommitted from Miami to commit to Florida.
So on its face, like I said, I don't have all of the elements in right off the top of my head, but it sounds like he reasonably relied on their promise or their them saying that they'll pay him $13 million, and he forwent $9 million, and then lost out on both. I would think he has a case against Florida, at least for the $9 million, to say, I trusted you guys. I reasonably trusted you guys, and then I missed out on this opportunity.
And it's all not oral. I mean, there's text documentations of it going back and
we need
forth.
a commitment now. It's like one of the texts that came through.
And so I think that Florida might be sweating a little bit because I remember reading this, whatever it was, 2 years ago, and I was blown away that
by the number,
by the number, and then just to have it evaporate before him. I think that would have been sick.
Said Rashada suing on the counts of fraudulent misrepresentation, fraudulent inducement, aiding and abetting fraud, civil conspiracy to commit fraud, negligent misrepresentation, tortious interference, aiding and abetting tortious interference, and vicarious liability. The complaint is an unprecedented look into the high level of NIL stuff. So defendants' goals were twofold. One, to ensure Jaden remained committed to the University of Florida, and two, to avoid paying the promised NIL funds. Defendants knew that for most college athletes, the prospect of NIL earnings is life-changing. Defendants exploited the fact of their own personal advantage. And then it goes later on to say that this guy, Mr. Hathcock, who's behind all like the NIL string pulling, and now that collective is actually shut down, that he had no intentions of paying them anything.
Okay, well, then they're probably in trouble because I thought you were saying that, I thought the issue was that they thought they could raise the money for him and then couldn't raise the money for him. But if they just were trying to get him away from actually getting $9 million by lying to him, they're gonna have to pay something.
And that's what's interesting here is like there's a private entity, and then Florida is the co-defendant in this beam, as you said. The University of Florida.
No, Florida's not mentioned. It's Billy Napier,
the head coach, and then the head booster, and those are the co-defendants in this. Wow. Because I think they probably have text through discovery of the actual desire to be able to pay, willingness, and all this stuff. So, and they're not suing the collective; they're suing him personally because the collective, I said, it's just an LLC. I mean, there's nothing in it. There's nothing to get. And so this is. I had heard this had happened at other schools, especially in the South, and maybe it was we promised you X, and now we're more like half of X or a percentage of X, as opposed to we're not giving you really any of this. And we never really had it to begin with.
This is going to be a good practice for a whole lot of people in what makes a binding contract. Because, you can't just promise people stuff, have them make decisions based on that promise and then not fulfill the promise.
So that's interesting on like a player-coach spat front. The more interesting conversation, I think, is the House v. NCAA lawsuit, which is the universities and the direct payment to players. We'll get into that with former Buckeye Mike Bennett hanging out in the studio with us next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. We're watching crews clear up a crash on I-70 eastbound right at the 670 split. Right now, the right shoulder slightly blocked off over there. Also expect some lane closures due to a crash on the southeast side. This is on the ramp from 33 westbound to I-270 northbound. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Tri-State Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Truly, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Your Memorial Day weekend haul can be found with one stop at Meijer. Pick up fresh from Meijer 80% lean ground beef family pack for just $2.99 a pound. Plus, buy 5, save $5 on Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, Breyer's ice cream, and 24-pack Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable. And rev up your savings and earn 50 points per gallon of gas pumped at any Meijer Express through June 1st. Get everything you need for Memorial Day this week at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Roof leaks and damage can ruin your business and your reputation. Property management pros trust Legacy Roofing Services, Ohio's leader in commercial roof repair, replacement, and ongoing maintenance. At Legacy, our reputation for fast, reliable, safe, and permanent roofing services for commercial buildings can solve your roofing problems before they become roofing nightmares. Call Legacy Roofing Services today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
The Buckeye Show.
Devin Royal's got to become a three-point shooter. Not afraid to fire it. Devin looks like he wants to score lots of points. And you know what, Devin? I want you to score lots of points.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing and Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Hollywood Lights. Set sail with excitement at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Saturday, May 25th, you could be the lucky winner of a 7-day, all-expenses-paid Caribbean cruise for 2. Not a sailor? No problem. Opt for $15,000 in cold hard cash instead. Play your favorite slots and table games throughout May to earn entries. More details at HollywoodColumbus.com. Remember, your adventure awaits at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
This offer is only available at Reichert Ford. 0% financing for 72 months on every 2023 Ford F-150 in stock. Take advantage of Reichert's rate before it's too late. Lock in your 0% rate and take a new truck home today. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Exclusively at Reichert Ford. 0% for 72 months is now available on every new 23 F-150 in stock. Hundreds of trucks at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. Feel great, Columbus.com. The Fan.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hanging out with former Buckeye Mike Bennett in studio with us. Coming up in 1 hour's time, 8:35, we'll check in with Berm. All things going on the Buckeye recruiting trail. Also ask him about this Jaden Rashada situation as well. I mean, all kinds of nefarious stuff going on in the NIL world. Mike, a couple of, not weeks ago, but I don't know, Bob, when was this? Six weeks ago or so, we kind of learned about this House v. NCAA lawsuit that is going on. And so what happened in this, Mike, and I know that you've been busy with law school and everything. I don't know if you've been keeping up to date with it.
We're just giving you some more bar prep here, throwing you out some random scenarios.
Giving me some homework.
Yeah, now that you're our in-house, we have an in-house lawyer. We're going
from tort reform into employment law.
Yeah, all kinds of good stuff here. So the House v. NCAA lawsuit, which is basically back pay from the NCAA for not paying NIL for years, right? Kicking the can down the road and just taking advantage of student athletes, basically. So they're going to have to pay upwards of $2.7 billion. The NCAA is going to have to pay.
10 years to do it, Mike.
They got 10 years. And what was it, Bob? Like out of that $2.6 billion, I think the NCAA is going to cover like 1.6 or 1.7
from reserves. The rest will be from future earnings.
How far back does this go?
10 years.
You're in there.
Yeah,
am I?
Yeah,
at the window.
Yeah, you're in the window. Yeah,
my $35 disbursement.
I don't know if this is going.
$2.7 billion, so there might be a little more than that. I still have my NIL check from the O'Bannon and what was the other case? Guy from Stanford, whatever. But it's like I have it. I mean, I cashed it, but it's you know where it sits inside my diploma in my office. It's like $1,300. I was like, this is what I got paid for playing at Ohio State.
So I don't know if it's just over the last 10 years paying athletes. I don't know how far this goes back.
I think it goes back 10. I think that's what it is.
So all this is coming to a head. Now, the NCAA is looking for protection from future lawsuits. The judge who's ruling over the case ruled in favor of the student athletes in the O'Bannon case. And I'm trying to I forget the other case's name. But also ruled in
Alston.
Yeah, Alston versus NCAA.
So you got the same judge who got them both, who ruled in favor. I'm like, so that's why they're settling, Mike, because it's not looking good. They're 0 for 2, and it's similar evidence presented before them.
So the NCAA is now going to have to pay that out over 10 years. But the most interesting part of this is next year they're going to start having direct player payments from the universities. Like it would be 20%, I believe, of the revenue, Bob, or something like that.
They said Ohio State, the model that they said is somewhere around $22 million that they'll be able to pay out of TV revenue to the players as a form of like NIL or their level of compensation.
I have to be honest with you, gentlemen. That's what I thought NIL was. Like when I first thought about NIL, I imagined it as players sharing into TV revenue, ad revenue, jersey sales. Because anytime there's a good player, all of a sudden their jersey with no name on the back starts getting sold. So that's what I'd originally seen it, rather than boosters giving players money.
That's originally what it was intended to be.
Yeah.
And then it got twisted like so many things do.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering now, I mean, you spoke in Boston a couple of weeks ago about NIL. What was the talk about, and what were you kind of going over, and where do you see this trending in the next few years? Yeah,
there are a lot of fascinating topics in the NIL landscape right now. Some of it is, whenever we talk about NIL, mostly people are talking about football and men's basketball. But, we're seeing other sports that are garnering attention. Yep. And then there are questions of, let's say, if you're paying football players, how does that affect Title IX? And then how does it affect the Pistol Club or something like that?
So that's the big question that I have. And I've posed this to a number of administrators that I've talked to, where like a lot of these suits have been about exploitation of the, mostly football, some men's basketball. And in women's basketball, I think now is maybe getting more to that level, but most of this lawsuit wouldn't have really encapsulated that based upon where the TV dollars were generated from. And the balance of someone receiving their full value, now this going into an institution that receives federal dollars, which also has to then be Title IX compliant. And these lawsuits are saying, hey, we did this for all these years. We want our cut of the pie. But then you're going to also have to take that and then spread that across the women's sports, which frankly don't generate the same amount of revenue. And so I don't know if this is going to suffice some of these lawsuits, but I don't know if they bring it in-house how you're supposed to bifurcate that.
And then at the conference, it was for the National Academy of Arbitrators, and there was a big emphasis on the NLRB, National Labor Relations Board. So one of the bigger topics was, are they now employees? Mm-hmm. And okay, maybe you can say the football players at big-time programs are employees, but where does that stop? Like, do you have to be generating revenue? Is it a control issue where, in football, the coaches have a lot of control, but in some of the other sports, I don't want to throw a sport out there, but some of the other sports, maybe it's a little bit more lax.
Yeah.
And so it's really trying to find or trying to understand, do we need uniformity throughout all of these different sports, men's and women's sports, big and small sports, big programs and smaller programs? Or is this going to be something where we start dividing within schools, within conferences? I think it's a fascinating issue. I have no idea where they're going to go with it.
And I don't even know, at least from what we've heard about, like, big-time football players. Take Ohio State, for example, because we're doing radio here in Columbus and we live here. And it's a gigantic university and program that I don't know if the players would want to be considered employees. If they go to the bargaining table and say, hey, here's a revenue share of the TV dollars you guys are bringing in, would you be willing to not be employees?
Yeah, welcome to taxes, man.
Make sure you fill out your W-9s.
There's going to be taxes, but even if you're an employee, there's going to be restrictions and there's other things that come with this as opposed to being a contractor, and then the collective bargaining element, and that's what when you get into like who you bargaining with. It's not like professional sports where people have lifespans of a decade. I mean, you're talking 3 to 5 years, and so and people have talked about maybe like an organization versus a labor union and working out the details on that. There's a lot. Here's the good news, Mike. If you get into this, I know there's going to be billable hours.
Oh yeah, there will. Yeah,
there'll be an opportunity to.
It really is fascinating, too.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many. I feel like it's going to, like I said, I can focus on what would college football look like. And I think it would be the best way to do college football would be some blend between, the NFL's collective bargaining landscape and European soccer's, quote unquote conference setup where they do relegations and all that kind of stuff. I think if you had some kind of combination of that would make a lot of sense to apply to college football players as employees. But then you got to get into scholarships, where does that fit, healthcare, all that kind of stuff. And I'm fascinated by what you do with, because Ohio State has, I'm going to throw out a number, 40-something other sports.
36
sports.
So the most of anyone in the country, yeah.
Yeah, what do you do with all of those other sports? Are they all of a sudden employees? I don't know, man. Boggles my mind.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. Before we get you out of here, and I know you got to get to bar prep here this morning, as you've got a nice little 8-hour day that you're
He's been warming up. He said he's going to take a couple
hyped.
shots.
Yeah.
Different bar.
Different bar.
Oh, I thought
that bar prep starts at 4 p.m. I like to get started early.
Mike was at the Ruckmore on Friday waiting on you and AJ. You guys never showed up at 9 a.m. So what are your thoughts on the Buckeyes here this year? Obviously a lot in the transfer portal, bringing in a lot of hype this year. LJ coming back, Jack, JT, like a lot of hype around them as we get into the summer months.
I think it's tough, man. I like the team that they've put together and the coaching staff that they have. I know Ohio State fans and everything always have such high expectations. This is one of those years where it's like, you have all the pieces in place. You've got the great head coach. You've got the great assistant coaches. You've got the stars. You've got the experience. You've got the leadership. Better not lose. And that's always a tough position because stuff still happens in college football. We have the extended playoffs, so I don't see any possibility of them not getting into the playoffs. But anything can happen when you start getting into the playoffs with good teams. So I think that we have everything in place to go win it all and all that kind of stuff. But now you're playing a mental game, and Coach Day is going to have to keep those guys hungry, and I don't think that'll be a problem. But I think when you are expected to win it all, when everybody in the country is looking at you and they're kind of saying that's the team, that's a tough position.
It's very tough. Lastly here, we talked about some of these guys coming back, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. We had Lathan Ransom in here who's returning for his 5th year. Cody Simon, coming back in middle linebacker. Those guys critical as well, especially a lot of the defensive backs. But up front in a physical game, and we talked about pretty much all 4 of the D linemen coming back. And what's the jump that occurs between like that your second to last and final season in college athletics of just understanding the game, the physical element of it, especially in the trenches?
I mean, it's amazing how much the game slows down. Like going from high school to college, it's just a whole different level, and going from college to the pros is a whole different level. But when you get into that, senior year, it becomes a little bit more natural, your hand placement when you go to punch somebody's chest. It's a little bit more natural when you go to step through after throwing a cross chop. So it's just we already have a solid D-line. I think we've had guys who have shown what they're capable of, and we're hoping to see more consistency. But we've got some edge setters.
Yeah.
We've got some guys who will blow up the backfield. We've got some guys who can pass rush. And I think since we saw that from them when they were young, we're going to see hopefully a lot more consistency on their ability to blow up plays, just because they don't have to think about it as much. You know, they don't have to prepare each snap to put their hands in the right place, put their feet in the right place. It just kind of happens.
You're not thinking, you're just doing.
You're just doing. It becomes instinct.
So before we get you out of here, we have Lathan Ransom in studio, fifth-year Buckeye, going into his final year here in Columbus. They're getting ready to do their summer workouts. When I say winner, loser to you, what does that mean? Because we asked him yesterday, and his response was, "Got to win." Yeah. When I say winner, loser to you, what do you say?
I mean, yeah, don't lose. What am I going to be, the loser? No, I'm going to win. That's all it is there's no option.
I think there was a sign when you were playing, point to the sign, at all costs.
At all costs. At all costs. You don't get to, there's a winner and there's a loser. What do you want to be? Bean, what do you want to be?
Me, I'm a loser, but that's just kind of in my nature. Buddy, we appreciate the time. Thanks for popping in with us here this morning. Best of luck on the bar exam. Come in anytime, all right?
Thanks for having me on, guys. Go Bucks.
Yep, Mike Bennett getting ready to do 8 hours bar prep coming up here later on today as he gets on his journey all the way to take the bar at the end of July. Great stuff from him, as always. We're going to get Juice next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we're still watching lane restrictions on the southeast side on the ramp from 33 westbound to 270 northbound. Other than that, the rest of your central Ohio roadways are looking nice and clear. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Spring is a season full of new life and new opportunities to celebrate. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Anniversaries, new babies, graduations, plus everything in between, discover the perfect gift for every occasion. Visit us at the Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
We go to war for you.
At Sugar Schnarr Trial Attorneys, we don't back down. Accident? Call us today at 877-WAR-FOR-YOU or visit warforyou.com for a free consultation. Results matter because we go to war for you. warforyou.com.
Ah, the sweet sounds of spring. Baseball, birds, and the glorious hum of a freshly tuned AC system. Don't sweat it. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling Team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pains, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
Lights, heating. You may be paying for everything. All new tomorrow. Take a look at your utility bill. No, look closer.
What am I going to do? I have to have electricity. And if it does get cut off, we have no one to call.
It's the unregulated practice that could be inflating your bill.
It's treating sub-metered consumers as second-class citizens, and that's wrong.
Are you paying more than your fair share? Tomorrow at 6 on 10 TV.
Jeopardy is on a hot streak with runaway games, high scores, and can't-miss moments.
I've always had nightmares about doing this, Ken. True Daily Double, please.
Oh, that's the spirit.
As this game heats up,
what is the secret of being a world-class Jeopardy player?
Everyone's asking,
Could we be witnessing a new super champ in the making?
Find out.
All right, we got a tight game
on Jeopardy.
Weeknights at 7 on 10 TV.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking the risk of thunderstorms as we head into this evening. Look for a mostly cloudy sky today, along with a few pop-up showers or storms. The best chance of strong storms will come tonight. Biggest threats will be large hail and damaging winds. Temperatures today will be in the middle 80s. Tonight, we drop down to the middle 60s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
So here on The Juice, are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line over at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bob, big Wednesday lined up here, buddy. Hopefully we stay away from the rain until a little bit later on, at least until I can mow my grass. What's got you fired up today, man?
Oh, goodness, what's got me fired up? What's got me juiced today, Beam? Well, I get a lot of energy from Mike Bennett. I enjoy seeing like him and Joshua because those guys, to me, are like what I am to them, like what the same thing was like Vrabel and like Miller and Joey Galloway. And it's crazy to think that. And I told him, I'm like, I'm 10 years older than you. They're 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
And so, like, to watch them age through now, and I go, you know what? You guys are about 10 years older than the players before you. You guys finished.
Well, yeah, Lathan said he's 21. Mike's 31.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you start looking at when you graduated. Like, Mike was, 25. Oh, you're 15. Was he on the 15 team?
No, 14 was the national championship.
So these guys this year will be the exact. They're finishing up in 25. He finished up in 15, graduating. Like, that's how it is. So it's phenomenal. Oh, that's got me juiced. I enjoy talking to him, and it's fun seeing all the great things that he's doing, having some legal conversations. Got some meetings today at lunch, but looking onward to the rest of the week, excited. This will be the last night my kids will be going to bed, having to wake up for school. Nice. Now, my son RJ, he's doing football and swimming, so he'll still be waking up with me in the morning, and I'll be dropping him off wherever.
What time do they start?
Oh, dude, swimming at 5:30, lifting at 6. So
okay, good.
On the days he doesn't have one, he's got the other always. So no rest for the weary, Bean. No rest for the weary.
On the weekends, he might get to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah, on the weekend. I told him, dude, do you want to sleep until like 9 o'clock on the weekends? I'm not going to yell at you because you wake up at a far earlier time than I ever did. And I didn't start lifting before school until I was 16, 17, like junior year. So I'm like, buddy, you're on a discipline path, so I appreciate that. And speaking of discipline, some things, Shark, let's listen to the cut.
What did America offer you that a lot of people, because when they think of places like Australia, Britain, they kind of think it's pretty much the same as America. But there's a slight difference, though.
In Australia, you can't blaze a trail and leave a legacy. In Australia, if you're successful, you are resented, not admired and aspired to. In Australia, if you fail once, you're done. You're cooked. No one will ever want to do business with you again. Your neighbours will quietly mock you. The thing I love about the United States is it's the country of unlimited opportunities. Walt Disney went bankrupt twice, almost 3 times. Same story with Henry Ford. Lincoln lost his first 6 elections. P.T. Barnum's first 2 circuses were abject failures. Colonel Sanders had his recipe for fried chicken rejected 1,009 times before he finally got a taker. So there's something about American society that rewards resilience, persistence, a never give up attitude.
You gotta love that, Shark. Think of how many times you were fired and passed over before you finally got to the juice. And now you're living your dream and you're going to throw it all away.
Shark actually got assigned to the juice as a punishment. It's worked out for him, all right.
You have 13 and a half, maybe 14 months, basically. 13 and a half left with us. What's Schleich got to say?
Here's big time ball. What if down the road, I'm just giving this side nugget, what if there is some type of receptacle where you could secretly take a little bit of the cornbread that I got from the Pearl, or that tater tot with the mashed potatoes that were inside, and put it.
It's a replay.
He wanted to wrap it in a napkin and put it in his pocket. Like
I am so sorry.
Senior balance today.
That's a senior moment for me. Here, let's try this one then.
I would be maniacal. I would be fanatical. Box them out the gym. Toughness. Rebound coach. I mean, I'm only 6'1". Never played basketball, but I was a wrestler. I don't know if that helps. But I tell you what, I can watch film and dissect how to box people out.
6'1's ambitious. And, yeah.
What do you think it is? Like 6 foot and a half inch?
Yeah, he's got a half inch. I'm not giving him the full inch.
Is he shrinking or?
Oh, 100%. All the squats and deadlifts, the vertebrae in his back shrink a millimeter a day.
Gravity's catching up to him.
I'll tell you what had me juiced yesterday. I was ready to watch the Buckeyes game in Omaha at about 3 o'clock, and of course they got delayed for 6 hours. Didn't start till 9:05. And they're facing Nebraska, which had the second best record in the Big Ten this year, best ERA in the Big Ten. And I thought, Ohio State's going to struggle to score runs. But they put a beating.
Yeah.
And Ohio State.
Everybody got a hit.
Everybody got a hit. 4 or 5 guys got 2 hits. 1 guy got 3 hits. And Ohio State had to win their last 2 series of the regular season to even get in as the 7th seed, and they crushed the 2nd seed. So that really had me juiced. And now, I guess,
3rd seed Indiana.
Double elimination. So we're into the winners bracket semifinals tomorrow against Indiana. So looking forward to that. Really frustrated last night with the Pacers loss to the Celtics. They got a 3-point lead. And they had the ball, 30 seconds to go, and Halliburton turns it over. The Celtics come down. They miss 2 shots. Indiana gets the rebound. They go down. Boston's got a foul, except they didn't have to foul because Indiana threw it out of bounds again. 6 seconds to go, and they're still up 3, so all they have to do is foul Boston, send them to the line.
Yes.
The only way they can't lose this game is if Boston hits a 3 and sends it to overtime, and sure enough, that's what happened. So I don't know. Rick Carlisle, I'm sure, didn't sleep last night.
I hope not.
That was a really tough loss. I didn't sleep much either, come to think of it. Beamer, what has you juiced?
Now that's got me fired up that you didn't sleep. What also has me juiced is Denzel Ward's first pitch. At the Guardians game last night.
Yes,
did you see that?
I did see that.
I love it. When they sit through in the stands, I'm like, is this a 50 Cent situation?
No, he just decided he was going to go Trevor Bauer.
Man of the people.
Throw it out of the stadium.
Fire that sucker right over right over home plate and the fencing. So that had me fired up. I also saw that they were cheering sellout when Frankie came to bat in the 9th inning. The Guardians fans were. So I know it was a close game. So maybe everybody was getting a little bit fired up last night. So first game, we're going to applaud you. Thanks for everything. Second game, you come back, maybe the true feelings are coming out. So that had me fired up a little bit. Mike coming in studio had me fired up. That was great stuff.
Yes.
Also super fired up that I need to mow my grass today, and hopefully I can do it.
You better get it before the rain, Coach.
I know, and I'm like looking at the radar. I'm like, do I have enough time? My mom's coming up today, so we should be okay. I should have some time after I get off of work here.
Really do it.
All right, that's
Let Mom do it.
Yeah. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom, I know you say you can do anything to help. Will you go mow my grass and pick up Theo's yard dumps that have been accumulating for the last week or so? So all that's got me fired up here on a nice little Wednesday. One Chargers player has got an amazing comparison for his new coach, Mr. Kaki, out there in Los Angeles. That and the re-rack next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Happy Wednesday. Right now, we're watching crews clear up a crash on the southeast side. This is on the ramp from 33 westbound to 270 northbound. Expect some lane closures over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Safe Auto Insurance is now Direct Auto Insurance. What's the difference? Basically, the name. Direct Auto offers savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, just like you're used to. which means you never have to make trade-offs when it comes to paying for car insurance. So don't even think about carpooling to work with Talkative Ted. It's time to stop compromising and keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com or call 1-877-GO-DIRECT. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Extend the life of your engine with regular oil changes and save at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, pick up 5 quarts of O'Reilly full synthetic motor oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $31.99. Or upgrade to a MicroGuard Select filter for just $2 more. Limits apply. Available in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact, every bite is better with Pepsi.
I love a beautiful, healthy lawn. That's why I use TruGreen. They take the hassle out of fertilizing, aerating, and controlling weeds plus mosquitoes. All you have to do is water and mow. Give yourself time back to do what you want. And to top it off, sign up by May 28th and save an average of $200 when you bundle lawn care and mosquitoes. Visit TruGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price, guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We all have something to get off our chest. Therapy is a safe space to share whatever is weighing you down, so you can get some relief and find a solution. BetterHelp offers professional, affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Let it out with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp, HELP.com/like today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/like.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. In the first round of the Big Ten baseball tournament, 7th-seeded Ohio State crushed 2nd-seeded Nebraska 15-2 in Omaha. Thanks to a run rule, the game ended after 7 innings. The Reds didn't have a hit after the 2nd inning, but they didn't need one thanks to Andrew Abbott. Cincinnati scored 2 unearned runs in the 2nd, and Abbott made the lead stand up, pitching 7 shutout innings in a 2-0 win over the Padres. In Cleveland, Jose Ramirez had a double, a homer, and 3 RBIs as the Guardians edged the Mets 7-6. Ramirez has 34 RBIs in the last 34 games and leads the American League with 44 ribbies on the season. In the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals, Jason Tatum scored 36 points, including 10 in overtime, as the Celtics rallied to beat the Pacers 133-128. The Sports Center is sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com to get started. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Wednesday. Brandon B, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here at 8:35, we're going to check in with Berm. By the way, if you miss Berm or you miss Michael Bennett in studio with us, fear not, we got a podcast for that right after the show is done. Anywhere you get your podcast from, Apple, Spotify, all kinds of different I don't even know all the podcast platforms. You just type in Morning Juice in the search bar, hit subscribe, and all of our shows will magically appear to your listening device. So Berm coming up here around 8:35 a little bit later on. We'll talk about the Jaden Rashada situation that unfolded yesterday a little bit with him as well.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Yeah, Shark hit the nail on the head. I don't think Mr. Carlisle was going to sleep very well last night. Celtics 133, Pacers 128 overtime. The Indiana Pacers had that game in the bag. I mean, it was done. It was over.
In the Garden, dead to rights.
Game number 1, Eastern Conference Finals, dead. Had the Celtics dead. D-E-A-D, dead.
D-E-D, dead.
D-E-D.
I had a coach tell me, you'll have that quarterback dead to rights, D-E-D. I'm like, Really? Okay.
That's how we're spelling it.
That's why we're coaching football.
Yeah, the Celtics have a 1-0 lead now in the Eastern Conference Finals. NBA action tonight as well. Mavs at the Wolves tonight at 8:30, game number 1 out there in the West. And then the Panthers and Rangers, game number 1 tonight at 8 o'clock in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. The best thing about YouTube TV that I've got is that you can split screen both those games. So like that's what I'll be doing tonight.
That sounds tremendous.
It really does.
It's build your own journey, Beam.
I wish they would let me build my own journey.
Just get in the box. You get to pick each one.
Yeah, like I would have that game go. I would have those games going, and then I would have like Fixer Upper on one hand, or Love It or List It or whatever's on HGTV, and then maybe like Guys Grocery Games or like Gladiator or Shawshank on another.
Some other random movie.
Yeah.
It'd be nice too, is if you could even do like some of your pre-recorded stuff. Like, hey, you know what? Throw some Jeopardy on there with some subtitles so I can watch that as we go along.
Throw an Office on there.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it'd be absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, YouTube TV gives you the ability to do that. By the way, speaking of YouTube, Beam, you can watch us live on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and search in 97.1 The Fan, Morning Juice. You got the live stream in here. I know we had some issues yesterday, but we're cruising along today. We got some great interactions in the chat.
Yep.
People are asking me, hey, maybe we can raise some money for Bobby to get him an actual water bottle instead of the old juice jug that I drink out of.
Yeah, the Simply, what is that, limeade? Cherry limeade?
This is actually strawberry lemonade. And so, it's the generic version from Aldi. Sometimes we'll have the name brand ones and different things. But I use these because, A, I lost a lot of water bottles. B, my kids take my water bottles. C, reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm going to get some extra life out of this for the environment before I choose to recycle it.
You're saving the turtles.
Saving the turtles. Even though turtles are racist now and probably deserve to die.
It was the only thing. We took William to the zoo on Mother's Day Sunday. We went and saw like the big land tortoises.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing that I could think of.
Of course.
It was it. I told Meredith, I'm like, did you know turtles are racist? She's
Show
like,
her the video. Show her the video. The black shoe, the white shoe. I mean, it's right there. Boston Connor knows it. Darius Butler knows it. Everybody watches Pat McAfee. They now know it as well.
Of course, man. So that was good.
By the way, we had AJ on to talk about that. You can hear him, Beam, every Friday at 8:30.
You can. That's a diagonal tease, I think. Friday at 8:30. AJ, he's going to join the program. Coming up tomorrow at this time, even more teases, Albert Breer of the MMQB. We got all kinds of good stuff for you in the 8 o'clock hour.
We talked about this little Marv situation, everything's going on with the Fanatics and the jersey licensing and everything there. He's not a legal expert like Michael Bennett, who you just heard, who you can download on the stream, podcasts, social media, everything else. But he's pretty locked in with this stuff and everything going there. So he'll be able to give us the up-to-date stuff on that. Plus OTAs are starting, organized team activities. And
optional team activities.
That's only Chops is the one that tells you that. That's inaccurate information, Beam. I'm going to eliminate fake news in the world and organized team activities, some news and notes from that, and kind of what's going on around the NFL. Most insightful guy we talked to.
So we have some great audio in which I will play you in just a second. Now, I'll ask you, if you had to compare Jim Harbaugh to anybody in the world, could you pull out a comparison? Because one of his new players did, and I think it's really good. So before we get to that, can you think of anybody that you could compare Mr. Khaki to himself to anybody living, dead, whatever?
I started with Willy Wonka,
and I said that's actually not too far away from where we landed at.
And then I was like, all right, let's go to Michael Scott.
Getting actually closer.
Then I went to Dwight Schrute after that. And that might be the extent of even my pop culture, if that's even pop culture anymore.
Old references. Pop culture.
Yeah, old pop culture.
Now it's just bar trivia.
I'm trying to think of someone else that would be like blissfully unaware, but yet very confident in what they're saying.
So Denzel Perryman, who is a linebacker for the Chargers, they have OTAs. They're out there in Los Angeles. I don't know if Harbaugh has a shirt on or not, or what he's got going on over there.
Khakis no shirt, I think.
Khakis no shirt, great look. You want to, but you also want to make sure that you lather up with a sunscreen out in LA because that's some pretty intense sun.
Here is a water bottle of milk.
That sounds awful on like a 90-degree day.
Let's just imagine milk being on a hot day, squirting it out of like
what are those cups that were really popular and then they found out there was lead in them? Stanley cups.
Oh, is there lead in the Stanleys?
I think so. I think there's lead in there.
Found out. I mean, they just made them. It isn't like there's lead in your paint from your house from 1940. They just started making these. How is it possible that they just found out? My daughter uses a Stanley. I'm kind of worried there.
The Stanley Cup maker sued for failing to disclose lead.
Why would they have to put lead in
tumblers?
Why would they need to put the lead in there?
This is from today. Let's see. The maker of Stanley Cups is being sued over the presence of lead in its products. The primary allegation is that the company did not publicly confirm until January of this year that lead is used in the manufacturing of its process. The suit against why put it in there?
There's a lot of tumblers that don't have the lead.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Not like, is that providing some sort of advantage, some feature on the cup?
The weight, it feels so good. The weight, the drink, it's ergonomic. It feels good in your hand.
Maybe that's what makes it taste so good when you drink it.
Right.
There's heavy metals floating around in there.
What's better than that? So he's got that full of milk on a nice hot summer day out there in Los Angeles. But anyways, Denzel Perryman, linebacker for the Chargers, had this little gem on OTAs for camp yesterday for the Chargers.
My first impression of Harbaugh, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but like he reminds me of Will Ferrell. Like, I don't know if it's the way that he talks, like, you know, his analogies and everything, but like they really remind me of Will Ferrell. I don't know, it's just funny to me. Like, it's funny, but I know like he means well, like everything's come, you know, from the heart. I feel like you gotta have a sense of humor to understand, you know, like some of his lines and gimmicks.
It's a little bit like Bill Belichick when we heard the Julian Edelman stuff earlier. And, you know, Bill Belichick, Ernie and I, we go down to Foxborough High and find players like that. I mean, you got to be kidding me. This is the best we've got. I could go on my face and find someone. Like, and it was just the over the top all the time. And I feel like Harbaugh probably has elements of that where he talked about, I woke up today, I was staring in bed, like thinking this is going to be the greatest day of all time. I mean, just, it's like Will Ferrell. It's like Will Ferrell.
Still have that in the deck because I asked Shark to cut that last week, and I
maybe that's where I saw is when you sent it over.
I think I did.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just crazy, but I understand why he's saying that. It's a little bit like Michael Scott. You know, I was listening to, how about that? Did I send you the one about Michael Scott about how, you know, a lot of men are chauvinists.
I think you said that to me maybe yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah, about how, you know, they want women dressed up, lots of cleavage, like to, you know, put them in 8-inch heels, mini skirts, all this stuff. He's like, I prefer my women, you know, just completely naked. I'm like, that's fantastic. Good for you, Mr. Scott.
I like how we're a couple of days into OTAs, and all of a sudden Denzel Perryman's like, yep. That guy who's leading the charge here and is a football savant mastermind, he reminds me of Will Ferrell out of Step Brothers.
100%. Because you're like, are you serious right now? I'm not sure. You know, I mean, like they're doing the interview and like Jim just kind of pops out from behind him. You know, like
here to help with the whole Pan situation.
Absolutely.
Here to help out with the whole Herbert Air Bear situation.
Yeah, I mean, just watching it with my own eyes, you know, my own opinion. And I don't know to compare it to or what analogy you could make, but I would compare it to like, you see some of the bird watchers that can tell tell you what kind of bird it is and species, et cetera, by the way it moves. And I think they call it the gist of a bird. Just my own eye, the gist of an NFL quarterback or not. I'm seeing now, after this game, I'm seeing Jake that way.
The gist. I mean, that is so amazing.
I don't know what he's talking about.
He is remarkable. Like when they were talking about him taking the job, he's like, yeah, I feel like the excitement. It was almost like read out of Shawshank, his speech, like, you know, the excitement that only a free man can feel like.
Yeah.
Just feel like I'm excited at the beginning of this great journey. You know?
I think it's it.
Yeah, it's just a very one-track mind about this game. Right now, just have fun with the family and the team and the players. It's like we're at the happiest place on earth. And we're gonna enjoy ourselves. And then
that wasn't it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
When they talked about him taking the Chargers job, like just at the beginning of a great journey, and like I'm glad that he's not at Michigan anymore because I can really enjoy him for all of his quirkiness and weirdness, and the fact that one of his players is referring to him as Will Ferrell out of Step Brothers.
It's terrific. I mean, it's terrific. Let alone the football that they're actually going to have to be playing. It's amazing that there's someone who's playing who could even reference Will Ferrell because Will's getting older now, man. All that stuff, those are more references of my time, Beam, and a little bit of yours. But these guys. Oh, I was right in Will Ferrell. I was right in the Will Ferrell wheelhouse. Snoop. Maybe not like the SNL, but when we got to old school and that stuff, like that was right. Gosh. Old school, maybe a little bit old for me, but I've seen it many a times.
I saw the clip, and you probably don't. And you probably never seen the movie Night at the Roxbury, have you?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you have him and Chris Kattan?
Emilio!
Yeah. It was so great, and they showed the end scene where he's getting married, and Kattan puts the music up, and they're like, no. Is Caan in that? James Caan? I'm trying to think who was all in that movie.
The fact that we got a full-length feature film off of just the skit is great.
Well, here's why. The movie is utterly ridiculous.
It's an awful, terrible movie.
But it's highly entertaining.
What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is on Night at the Roxbury?
Chops has given it half a star.
Night at the Roxbury on Rotten Tomatoes is an 11%.
Of course, it's terrible. But if you have enough drinks and you watch it, it's just, then you don't notice the length as much anymore and the fact that it went on about an hour too long. But it's so ridiculous.
It's 82 minutes. It went on an hour too long.
It really did. If you said, hey, I can watch this skit should be a little longer. And someone said, a little longer. Let's take it from 5 minutes into an 82-minute feature film. No, 20 minutes would have been good enough.
Yeah, make it a mini-series. Make it a 4-part mini-series. Like, everything else is good. So Jim Harbaugh acting like Will Ferrell. Good job, Denzel Perriman, on that. The Big Ten's financial gap in the SEC, it's widening. We'll do that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching some slow-moving traffic on I-71 as you come into downtown Columbus. Also on 33 westbound on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
My guys at Germain Lexus are getting ready for the Memorial. What they do every single year is let the golfers drive around in beautiful Lexuses for the week. Then they take those cars and sell them to you. You could be driving Rory's car. The Germain all-month-long celebration's going on right now. You can get great deals like this one. 2024 RX 350, 36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $49.99 down, $519 a month. I just picked up my brand new RX 350 a few weeks ago. It is plush. Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel, not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Sunday's the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and DeVere Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, and if that sizzling sound made your mouth water, you are in the right place. Let's talk about something sizzling. That's making a Bacon 180 with a Waken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crispy, savory goodness. It's one of the 50 reasons I chose a Waken 180. 50 pounds in only 3 months, and I did it while still enjoying a ton of my favorite foods. The difference? I had my coach showing me how to enjoy them the right way. A full Bacon 180. But hey, maybe you're not a bacon fan. I personally can't relate, but no bacon? No problem. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. Yes, that's a thing, and you're covered too. The point, if you want to lose weight, lose it fast, and then keep it off, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180 online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello,
it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Waking up this morning, it is definitely on the warm side. Look for lots of clouds and showers out there today. The biggest chance of a strong storm will come this evening. Today, look for a high of 85. Tonight, look for showers and storms with lows in the middle 60s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in 15 minutes time around 8:35, we're going to be joined by Berm, talk all things going on around the country and with the Buckeyes with him. Be interested to hear what he has to say about the Jaden Rashada situation and how often this is unfolding in the NIL world.
He'd have some good insight because Berm, as you know, cruises the high school parking lots around the country, whether it's for 7-on-7s or just after a Friday at 3 o'clock. And, you know, he may or may not have a pack of wine coolers on his passenger seat and try to entice them into the car to have a conversation.
What were the old wine coolers called, Bob? Like the pink ones? Not the Zimas. I think the Zimas came back for a little bit a few years ago.
They did. Well, they've always been made in Europe. And I was talking to my friends up at Superior Bev, and they were saying, like, you could get them over there, but they don't sell them in the United States. Like, you're telling me I'm going to have to fly to Europe and smuggle these bad boys back in? Because they're the only drink I know, Beam, that's a few degrees cooler.
Bartle and James.
Bartle, oh, yeah.
Bartle and James.
Speaking of SSC, you roll up to the club with a Alizé off the bus with the Bartles and James. So that's... as we talked about the night at the Roxbury being the skit that went on about an hour too long, that would be like if they took the Lonely Island Boys and made a movie of the creation of the Lonely Island Boys.
I don't need that.
No one needs that. I just need to see multiple videos in succession of them. That's all I really needed. You know, I didn't need any more than that.
I don't know if I've ever had a Bartle and James.
Well, they're still out there, I think.
Yeah, you get them for $5 for a 4-pack.
You know who I think would like Bartles and James? Your grandma.
Oh, 1,000% she would. I'm sure she's had many before.
Why don't we plan on getting her those for Christmas? A little sixer with a bow on the top.
Okay, yeah, that's a great idea. If I can find them, I would definitely buy them for her.
You've got time.
Maybe I just haven't been looking. Like maybe they're there.
Probably have just, it's an oversight, Beam. You're walking right by the Bartles and James.
I saw a Sunny D seltzer the other day.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wait, Sunny Delight?
Yes, literally Sunny D makes
with alcohol.
Makes alcohol.
That's
now.
Perfect. Just slide that right in the kids' lunch.
I want to try it.
Does Sunkiss make one too?
Slide them in the kids' lunchbox. Nobody would know. The teachers wouldn't know. It's got Sunny D on it.
So that's my brother-in-law was telling me the story one time about he would drink Monster in the morning. He really didn't drink coffee, and he would drink that and whatever. And there was another guy who's like, oh yeah, what are you drinking? And then he'd tell him Monsters, and he's like, oh, I picked up this was it an Amped or something like that? But
okay, like a energy drink?
But it was one of the ones that had the booze in it.
Oh, like a Four Loko?
But it wasn't a Four Loko, but it was something like that.
But now you can't put the caffeine in the alcohol because like original Four Loko, like when I was in college, that's banned now.
Well, exactly.
It's a blackout in a can.
You can put some in there, just not the levels. You can't have it like 16% alcohol and 150 milligrams of caffeine, which to me, I don't know.
Double Red Bull.
Where's the losers in that?
And 11% alcohol.
You know what that is? That is basically like jet fuel for your body.
I think it is jet fuel.
I mean, is Capri Sun going to launch a adult line?
So.
Here's the thing: like you've already got the built-in client base, you can just transition them to adulthood. Hey, for all the adults out there who still like to pack their lunch and still like to have a good time, try Capri Sun seltzers. All your favorite flavors as kids.
They come in the bag.
Yeah.
There's the straw is the same. It's the same setup.
Hey, maybe, you know what? You can even get a jumbo bag. Good for sharing. Put a little slap the bag. Put them in a box.
Put it in a box like Franzia.
Absolutely.
God, that sounds great.
The Capri Sun bag now in a box.
Solutions for institutions. Look at us making $1 million ideas.
What
here.
do they call that beam? The family size or whatever. The big candy bars.
Oh yeah, the family size.
Made for
which nobody shares.
Made for sharing.
Nobody shares that.
And that could maybe be you. Here you go. Here's a 40-ounce box. Here's a 40-ounce box of Capri Sun. Family size, great for sharing, or just drink it all yourself.
My grandma the other day, this wasn't this last weekend, but I was down there a few weeks ago. She was drinking just like amaretto on the rocks. Like, that's too much.
No sour?
No sour, just straight amaretto. Oh, you're awesome.
That's amazing. It's like Michael Scott. No one likes bittersweet chocolate. Who wants something that's bitter? Just give me all the sweet.
I'll take a Scotch and Splenda.
That's great. Good for her. Does she drink Scotch and Splenda?
No.
I was going to say.
So she likes a 7 and 7. I know that. I mean, that's what I don't think I've ever seen her drink straight whiskey, but they did take her out for a birthday dinner last week. This was during the week. And they went to some Mexican restaurant. They put the hat on her and they were singing to her. She was having a great time. And then at the end, I mean, she did the tequila shot. Like they gave her a shot.
Gosh.
And she just decided, you know what? All right, perfect. I'm just going to get on here and I'm going to take this thing down. It was pretty impressive.
Gosh, and she's 90?
Yeah.
Hitting down a raw tequila shot.
She was 89 at the time.
Well, but turning 90. She's 90 now.
She is 90 now.
She made it through the tequila shot. And it probably elongated her life. All these people that I always see on Instagram, what's the secret to life? They tell you stuff.
2 Guinness a day.
And then they have at the end, like, I drink a 3-ounce glass of scotch or a couple of Guinness. They all have like their own elixir every day. Like they say it, look at you, because all the friends that probably told them, you shouldn't be drinking every day. It's going to kill you. And like, yeah, outlived all you.
Yeah.
I've been trying to die. This is the only thing propping me up.
So Big Ten numbers were released for revenue. According to tax returns obtained by Sportico, the conference earned $880 million from July 1st of 22 to July 30th of 23, beating out the SEC's $853 million for the most revenue an athletic conference earned during a fiscal year. The Big Ten distributed roughly $60 million to each of its 14 member schools for the year, adding up to roughly $840 of the $880 paid out, with Maryland and Rutgers.
Where did the other $40 million go?
Well, they were paid out a slightly chunk. That leaves more than $40 million that were spent on salaries, legal fees, independent contractors, and various other expenses.
That seems like a lot. Now, granted, when you're paying Jim Delaney $400,000 to be a consultant.
And $5.8 in total incentives.
Yeah, that's
over $6 million for him last year.
So Jim Delaney's still getting paid. He hasn't been the commissioner
Bob,
since.
he's making $400,000 as a consultant. That's a great gig.
Well, God bless America.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like that might be a misallocation or misappropriation of funds. It's probably written into his contract where when he retired, they pay him that $400,000 for the rest of his life to sit there, and pretty soon he'll be like your grandma drinking Bartles and James in a rocking chair. Hey, we got to hop on this one Zoom meeting so we can justify your $400,000 consulting fee for the year.
Stu on the chat says, Diane Beam legend. I don't know how you know my mom, but that's terrifying. Joe said,
everybody knows your mom, Beam. Hey.
Joe says, need a Zima with a Jolly Rancher.
Yes. Well, that was the key. What flavor of Jolly Rancher do you want to put in it? The Zima was really like choose your own adventure.
Depending on the flavor of the rancher?
Yeah, you'd get the bag of Jolly Ranchers, and then you'd be like, do I want watermelon? Do I want a green apple? Maybe a strawberry. I mean, I don't know if you want to go with the lime. That might be a little different, but there was grape. People love the grape, but you drop that in there. And so instead of having to buy, when I was younger, potentially not of drinking age, and you'd want to make sure you're buying, it was tougher to be able to get all of these different things. So you didn't want to take these massive orders. So Zima was like, hey, that was like going to the movies now, where instead of you telling them what drink, like, I just want to drink. And you go there, they got 47 different types of flavored Sprites.
The freestyle machine.
Yes. The Zima is the freestyle if you get the Jolly Ranchers with it. I mean, that's the marketing gimmick that they should have. Hey, here's a case of Zimas and a pack of Jolly Ranchers. Go to town, folks. Build your own pathway to the gutter right there.
Aaron says Sunny D seltzers are amazing. They taste exactly the same way as they did when we were kids.
I don't know if that's good or bad. We're in the process of eliminating flavored Zins around Columbus so the kids don't chew.
Let's use an alternative. Hard alcohol Sunny D.
I told you, where's Capri Sun at? Put it right in the bag. Pop that guy in there.
He then just follows out and said, try a shot of Screwball, which is peanut butter flavored whiskey, followed by a pickleback. Sweet and salty palate tastiness. Jeremy, I think probably with the best one, he said, yeah, whatever flavor you feel like barfing later.
Check out Gasolina from Puerto Rico, an adult Capri Sun. Outstanding. Thank you, Phil Watkins.
I'm going to have to Google that in the break. You can hop in the chat on our new YouTube channel.
Jeremy. The chat's the best part, folks.
Yeah.
We appreciate all this. You want to interact? Hey. You know, the choose your own adventure. It's whatever flavor you feel like barfing up later.
It was a crazy day in the NIL world yesterday. Berm, he's going to break it all down with us coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. 2 issues we want to let you know about on your roadways. The first one on 23 southbound, right at Hyatt's Road. Coming in from Delaware County, the right lane blocked over there in those southbound lanes of 23. Also on the north side of town on I-270 eastbound, the left shoulder is slightly blocked just beyond State Route 3, Westerville Pike, because of a disabled vehicle. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Right now during Jeep 4x4 season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for $379 a month for 42 months with $3,837 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial Services. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024. Jeep is a registered trademark.
We always come through for you when you need us to. That's ECO's promise to you. And for AC repair and installation, that means today, not tomorrow. If you have an air condition breakdown, we'll get a tech out to your home today. Or we'll give you a year's EcoFi Advantage membership for free. And make no mistake, we're a repair, not replace company. Our techs are trained to give you all your repair options. Sometimes, though, it just makes more financial sense to replace. And that's where we really come through for you when you need us to. Because we'll replace your AC system same day. No sleeping overnight in a hot, humid house. Or we'll take $1,500 off the cost of your new system and provide you with portable AC units for your bedroom. That's what coming through for you when you need us to means. So if you need AC repair, call ECO for same-day service. We'll get your home cool again. We'll make it happen today.
At geteco.com.
Improve visibility and save $8 instantly when you pick up a new pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bosch Icon wiper blades have up to a 40% longer life than other premium wiper blades. The professional parts people will even install them for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Rockman and Ice.
And you can get some dry skin shavings, to come your way and fall in your popcorn.
Okay.
Just keep the toes in, ladies and gentlemen, at the movie theater, please.
Rockman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride, or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte, each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $21.65 per month per $1,000 financed at 48 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
We're David and Greg Figueroa, founders of Melinda's Hot Sauce.
If we were a big corporate brand, we might hire
a voice actor.
But we're not, so we'll just tell you about our 41
unique flavors of Kraft hot sauce.
Dude, we can talk about the way we balance heat with
the fresh flavor of real ingredients.
Wow, nice.
Set your mouth on flavor with Melinda's hot sauces. Find them at your local retailer or online at melindas.com. That's MELINDAS.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
I hate that alarm clock so much. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, checking with our good friend of the podcast. He is Jeremy Birmingham. Berm, thanks so much, buddy. Always appreciate the time. Can you explain this Jaden Rashada situation to us like we are 5 years old?
I'll try. It goes like this. Someone was promised a lot of money that nobody in their right mind ever thought he would get, and then he didn't get it, and then someone else promised him a lot of money, and he didn't get that either, and then he went to Arizona State, and now he's at Georgia. That's really about it. The reality is, in the wild, wild west of NIL, there are a lot of people making a lot of promises, and especially, when this started really a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where there was absolutely no guardrails and the collectives were basically just rogue boosters, you were going to see this happen. It seemed inevitable. I don't know that there's any way to prove in court, who's right or wrong. It seems like a he said, she said type of thing. But bottom line is, when you lay with dogs, you're bound to get fleas.
Ooh, I like that. Laying with dogs, bound to get fleas. Is this something, though, Berm, that is more prevalent than maybe we realized? And, especially with the flipping of commitments and these promises. And, I mean, there is, I guess, documented communication between Billy Napier and, and people of his staff and whoever was running this collective. And is this going on everywhere, or is this something that was more isolated to Florida or SEC? I mean, you're the guy that's sitting with these high school kids drinking Zimas in your car.
It goes on everywhere, Bob, but it's about scope, really, and it's about the amount of dollars that are being talked about here in this specific instance, because you were talking about a five-star quarterback. The reality is, we've seen kids who have transferred quickly out of situations in the last 2 years, probably who, if given truth serum, would say they were promised things they didn't get. We've seen others that, have decided to move on because what they were getting was, coming from wrong places, or, we've seen others who wanted to leave but couldn't leave because the collectives owned them, essentially. So there's a lot of conversation in NIL that is basically happening without any real legal framework. And when that happens, you're going to see a lot of people making poor decisions.
Berm, I think it's gotten better. NIL has. I think it's, everybody has kind of maybe gotten a little bit more of a stranglehold on this. Did it correct itself naturally? Because we're not hearing stories like this anymore, at least to the tune of like that number.
Yeah, the market always corrects itself. That's the beauty of free market, things. But what you'll find is that teams are realizing more and more that they're going to have to set limits on themselves. And early on, the coaches and the staffs weren't actually supposed to be directly relating with the collectives. These were supposed to be entirely separate entities, and so that's really what was going on in this Rashada thing, which is what makes it interesting from an NCAA perspective, I guess. But since the Tennessee case, I think Florida's pretty much in the clear from any potential NCAA ramification. But the fact is, it has to correct itself. And everyone who pays attention to college football said, 2 years ago, it's untenable when you see a quarterback who's never played played a down of college football being promised that much money. Like that can't possibly last forever. So Ohio State, for their part, was very adamant that they were going to wait until things figured itself out and until there were some guardrails in place before they really dipped their toes in the NIL water aggressively, and we saw that in this last offseason.
Berm, so moving on a little bit, it's month of June, big recruiting month. We're almost through May. Coaches are out on the road, but then we start some of the official visits, the OVs, if you will. What does that kind of look like for Ohio State? Chance to get some commitments, any big-time targets, any worries, fears, concerns? I mean, what's keeping Berm up at night?
The biggest thing for Ohio State is they start on May 31st with their official visits, and they jump right into it. 5-star wide receiver DeCorian Moore, the number 1 ranked player at his position in the country, is visiting that first weekend. He just decommitted from LSU. Everyone thinks he'll pick Texas. Ohio State and Oregon are right there in the mix, but it's kind of stupid to bet against Brian Hartline right now, the way that the last 5 years have gone for him. So the Buckeyes feel like they're in a really winnable spot, and it's sort of bookends with June 21st weekend, which includes a lot of commitments, but also 5-star offensive tackle David Sanders, who's the number 1 ranked player in the country. Buckeyes were a team that I don't think anyone really believed was involved with Sanders until the spring, and now a lot of people have them as the leader. I don't know if that's the case. I still think Tennessee might be the team to beat, but the Buckeyes have made themselves a really sincere contender in that fight. And in between May 31st and June 23rd, when the final visits wrap up, they're going to host probably 60 to 70 official visits, and probably not that many, probably 50, and get themselves in a position to be done with this class of 2025 as much as they can by the end of summer.
We've got Berm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I mean, Berm, you obviously do a lot of recruiting stuff. To you, ideally, how would an ideal world shake out for a recruiting calendar with signing day, recruiting periods? How would that look compared to what it is now?
I mean, it's absolutely silly to have a signing period in the first weekend of December, which is what they've decided to move it to. They went from 3 weeks in December now to the first weekend in December, which is pointless. And then still, do you have the early February signing period? To me, it would be end of June and February. That would make the most sense. So early February, end of June would be the opportune time for those things to happen. That way, the seniors who are locked in can get themselves done with everything. If there is a head coaching change, and obviously, you can let a kid out of a letter of intent if he wants to, but I don't think that the current setup is conducive for anyone. It's really not, Ohio State is hoping to play in Big Ten championship games and stuff like that, and the week of the Big Ten championship games. So the signing period is December 3rd. The Michigan game is November 30th, and the Big Ten championship game is December the 7th, right? So in that week, you are trying to win a Big Ten championship and position yourself for the first ever 12-team playoff, and your head coach is going to be flying around the country trying to make sure that people don't poach your recruit. Like it's just a very dumb time to do it. And if they leave it in early December, I think it'll be one of the impetuses for the Big Ten to eventually eliminate the conference championship game.
Really? You would see that would fully eliminate the conference championship game?
Oh, they're not going to need it anyway when you go to 18 teams.
Well, you need the money, though, Berm, and they've already sold it.
There's plenty of money. There's plenty of money, Bob.
Not at that Florida collective, there's not. Billy Napier seemed to be running out.
Those collectives are likely going to go the way of the dodo by, probably this time next year, as long as the NCAA and legislators around the country get their heads on straight and allow this to be done directly through the schools like it was in Virginia. So I don't know that collectives will have much of a role anytime, in the near future, but maybe you're right, Bob. Maybe you're right. I just don't think you need a conference championship game. Why do we need to see Ohio State and Michigan, or Ohio State and Oregon, or Oregon and Michigan play 3 times in a season? We don't.
Because you need to create those dollars so the university can pay them directly. I'm with you. I don't think it needs to happen, but they've sold that thing for the next 8 years, so I don't know if they can get out of that.
No, they need to get out of something. You know what I mean?
Buddy, always always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Appreciate it, guys. See you.
There goes Berm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. 2 issues we want to let you know about on your roadways. The first one on 23 southbound, right at Hyatt's Road. Coming in from Delaware County, the right lane blocked over there in those southbound lanes of 23. Also on the north side of town on I-270 eastbound, the left shoulder is slightly blocked just beyond State Route 3, Westerville Pike, because of a disabled vehicle. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-844-TrueHold or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
There's a little slice of heaven in a mountain town escape. A pace of life that's less hurried, more authentic, where people greet you with a smile and experiences feel down to earth, yet elevated. From Appalachian art to wineries and craft breweries, live music to a lively spirit. This is West Virginia. We call it Almost Heaven. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Why do you have to crap on my coma? That is a sentence I didn't think I'd say today. Why do you have to crap on my coma? It's my coma.
All right. Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on the Fan.
Hollywood Lights. Set sail with excitement at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Saturday, May 25th, you could be the lucky winner of a 7-day, all-expenses-paid Caribbean cruise for 2. Not a sailor? No problem. Opt for $15,000 in cold hard cash instead. Play your favorite slots and table games throughout May to earn entries. More details at HollywoodColumbus.com. Remember, your adventure awaits at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Have you heard? There's always more at Speedway. Like a Big Bite hot dog and Big Gulp drink for only $2.50. Are you dreaming of that fizzy Big Gulp or a dressed up hot dog with zesty relish or spicy jalapenos or tangy mustard or... Okay, wipe the drool off your face. Well, whatever you're in the mood for, we have it. And we mean all of it. Now, you can get more with less, like your go-to combo. Get your big meal deal for only $2.50 with Speedy Rewards. There's always more at Speedway. Valid through 1/7/25. Speedway has the right to end this promotion early. Plus tax. Participating U.S. stores only. See app for full terms. All rights reserved.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking the risk of thunderstorms as we head into this evening. Look for a mostly cloudy sky today, along with a few pop-up showers or storms. The best chance of strong storms will come tonight. Biggest threats will be large hail and damaging winds. Temperatures today will be in the middle 80s. Tonight, we drop down to the middle 60s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
Now we here on the Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Healthy, leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Uncle Bo and the boys going to be up after we're done. All kinds of good stuff from them, talking about Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics stealing one at home. Should have lost that game. Justin Fields getting comfortable in Pittsburgh. Jaden Rashada suing the University of Florida. We've talked about that a lot today. Jake Trotter, he's going to join the program coming up at 10:33. They're going to do Hey Guys coming up at 11. So get your questions in to them for that. And then Amanda Kristovich, who covers all kinds of sports business and college sports for Front Office Sports, is going to join them coming up at 11:33. So a lot of good stuff coming up for them a little bit later on today. Hop back. I don't think I'm going to get my mowing in the afternoon. It's already raining.
Yeah, but I mowed after rain. Sometimes you got to do it as long as it's a little wind out there, maybe dries it out, Beam. Take a look at the radar. They said scattered showers today, so we're a little bit further from your house.
Maybe by the time that Mary gets home at like 3, because they said it's supposed to rain again tonight. So like if I can catch that afternoon window.
It's kind of pushing through a little bit. Yeah, at 3 o'clock, we're going to be cleaned up. So you probably give it till, I would say, 3 o'clock, wait a little bit longer, and then you should be good. Let it dry out a little bit. Yeah, it shouldn't start raining until 6. So before you put Billy to bed, before Billy dinner time, just maybe wait a couple hours, let it dry out. And then
I'll hand him off to Meredith when she walks through the door. Here you go.
Here's your son.
I got to go out and mow to make sure that our yard looks nice. A couple of great tweets in YouTube chat. Adam said this. So we were talking about Sunny D, how they have a hard seltzer now. Adam said this. He said there was a bar in Nashville that would actually inject vodka into Capri Suns and put the sticker over the injection site and sell them for like $8. See, now that's innovation.
Hey, it's the American dream right there. You heard Nick Adams talking about Shark. That's why people love America. You can fail. You have one great idea, though, like that. You're able to take it to the next level.
Cam says MD 2020 and Boone's Farm back in the 80s.
Oh, of course. But they don't make those in a kids variety.
I think they were already kind of marketed towards kids, weren't they, with all the different colors and flavors?
Young adults.
Shark, what was your, I know that you're not.
My dad used to drink MD 2020.
What was your favorite of the flavored spirits? Did you have one?
The Boone's Farm back in the 70s when you're underage and it's cheap. Back then you could buy a bottle for $3. But we used to sneak in the wine coolers into the movie theater and that kind of stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like the fact that people have been doing that for generations, Shark.
Yeah. I'm just picturing you. I'm picturing you crushing like an MD 2020 or a Boone's Farm right now, and I'm really enjoying that.
Do you have one favorite flavor of Boone's Farm, Shark?
No, Boone's Farm, that was rot gut, and you'd throw up, and you'd pray. You'd make promises to God, please, if you'll just get me through this, I'll never drink anymore. Promise.
Did anybody follow through on those promises?
Yes, me.
They were Eastern promises, Beam.
Ooh. I think Vigo is just drinking straight vodka in that movie.
Of course, keep it
full
clean.
bottles of it.
The sugar's what gives you the hangover, but it tastes good. I can't drink like super sweet stuff anymore, but I could probably break down and have an adult Capri Sun. Should that be available? I'm honestly might try these Sunny D's and see how those go. The adult Sunny D's.
Bring a report back to us, would you?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do that tonight, but
sometime in the near future.
That might be more of like a poolside drink,
Well, the pool's opening this week with Memorial Day, so
is it going to be sunny though?
Do you think Scioto's going to have them?
I don't think they'll have them there.
Oh, I think they might surprise
might have
you.
them over my neighbors. Have some over there. We'll try them out. See how they go.
I think the White Claw is as adventurous as I'm going to get with the flavored stuff.
I've tried just about every seltzer out there.
Yeah, I like the White Claw.
Our neighbor.
What about the pumpkin spice seltzers?
That's awful. Gosh, whoever thought we're going to take something for a summer treat and transition it to like, oh yeah, next holiday up, Halloween, Thanksgiving, dinner, Christmas. You know what I love is I want a nice apple cinnamon pumpkin seltzer. That sounds refreshing.
Now, see, so on Halloween, remember last year on Halloween, it was snowing. It was snowing at the end of the night.
Oh yeah.
And so my neighbor, they had warm apple cider, and they put the bourbon in it. Like that's great. That's good stuff.
I don't want it carbonated and cold and tastes like poop.
Yeah, I don't need that in a can. Like, let me make that organically. I don't need that prepackaged.
Told you at the tailgate, we had a bunch of them trying to give them away, and RJ would go pass them out. Hey, anybody need a drink? Hey, this is my dad's favorite. It's like, you're awful. But after you've had about 7 or 8 of them, I don't think people notice as much.
That Mike says on the YouTube chat, I bartended at 2's in the mid-'90s, and we would dump out some Zima and then throw in a shot of fire water.
Oh, that sounds great.
That does sound good.
That's the fire and ice combo. A few degrees cooler.
Aaron said if McDonald's threw out an alcohol-infused orange drink, their profit margins would double, and then maybe they could fix their ice cream machines.
Yes!
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder who the first guy to come up with Jell-O shots. He was a genius.
We'll ask Austin Ward about that coming up on Friday, because I know that they're the kings and queens of the Jell-O shots in his household.
We'll have to ask next time we have Svoboda on about that orange McDonald's drink.
Hey, no, it wasn't orange, it's red.
He likes the red, so I don't know that McDonald's orange drink. That might, you know what it is? It's high C. Shark, I'm amazed that they haven't done a TH fused in high C. Right? I mean, the marketing and the branding.
I'm sure they already have. And when does weed become legal here? I mean, I know that it technically already is, but when are we going to be able to sell it? Is it July 1st?
Beam, I think what you're asking is when can you smoke it in the studio during the show?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, we don't have. I'm looking around. We don't have a fire alarm in here, so technically, I mean, I guess we could hotbox the studio in the morning.
Beam, you're going to Michigan next month. Maybe you can bring some back.
Well, I won't have to now. I mean, because we'll be able to buy it here. To get it right down the street.
Shark's super excited.
Are you asking me to mule it for you because I'm going up there earlier than you?
Do you think you'll make it across the border?
Well, he'll have to keister it for you, Shark, but I think he'll be okay.
I do wonder. I don't know when the sale of that is happening, because I know they're getting ready to open up all kinds of dispensaries.
Oh yeah, you're excited.
But if you think about it, they for sure have made it THC infused. I guarantee you, there's already a THC infused juice or something out there.
Let's hope so. That's the world I want to live in, Beam.
What about an alcohol infused THC drink?
Well, you can give them to your kids at the school.
Sunny D. Alcohol and THC infused. That sounds awesome. That sounds like the spins in a can. That doesn't sound good for anybody. Our daily fan poll before we get out of here today at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. Will you be purchasing the new EA Sports college football game? Yes or no?
We have a PlayStation 4, so yeah, I bet my kids will probably get it. So ergo, I'll be buying it for them.
Yeah, you'll be purchasing
Here's the real question. Would you purchase a beverage that was called the Spins?
Sure. Depends on the price point.
In a can, let's say modestly priced.
Like $4 a can?
Yeah.
I think I would.
It was basically like a Jeffrey in a can.
Bob, there's a thing called a Buzz Ball that's already for sale. I don't know what's in the Buzz Ball.
That's why they call me Buzz, Beam.
That's why they call me Buzz. God, that's great. All right.
Boot, Valley.
Do a couple of body shots off myself. Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say we do it again on a big Thursday?
Did a lot of fun. Bring Michael back.
All right, he can come in whenever he wants. Everybody have a great day. Uncle Bo and the boys are up next. We're back live tomorrow morning.
Michael back
at 6 a.m. Everybody have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, 2 issues we're watching. The first one on 23 southbound. Expect slowdowns near Hyatt's Road because of a crash that has the right lane blocked. Also on I-270 eastbound, just beyond State Route 3, the Westerville Pike area. Watch for a disabled vehicle in the left shoulder. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a fan action update.
This action update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem, go 1-800-GAMBLER. After a very exciting Game 1 in the Eastern Conference last night, where the Celtics won, but the Pacers covered the plus 9.5, it's time for the Western Conference Game 1 tonight. The Timberwolves, who are a minus 170 favorite to win the series, are a 4.5-point favorite tonight over the Mavericks. For your Tipico action update, I'm Scottie Vegas.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spending the money to replace our home's windows is rarely something we get excited about. We usually do it because our energy bills suck or our current windows, well, they're too messed up. But in working with the local Pella Columbus team, my eyes have been opened. New windows can legitimately change the entire look of your home. They've got windows and colors and styles like I've never seen, and they can change everything. So go see my friends at PellaColumbus.com or check them out at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters. And, hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationship with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BIKE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BIKE to 321-321. That's BIKE to 321-321.